medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high.
Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High. Hosted by Uncle Kalei.
You're gonna never come back, you know, all that stupid shit.
And Uncle Erik.
If I could retreat away.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Everyone Knows You're High, starring the Grow Guru to my right. And this week, our special guest is Jay from Care Waialua, across the table from us. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Honored. Aloha.
I am Erik. We're here, and we're doing this. This is going to be a good one.
Shout out Voices from the Planet.
Hey.
Doing work in the studio.
Let's start cutting that shit back, actually. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. But anyway, thank you for joining us today, coming into the studio. We always ask our guests when the first time they got high was and to share their story. So let's just get that shit out of the way.
Right off the bat.
That's
like
an
that.
easy one. That's an easy one. At the time, long story short, but my mom had gotten remarried to another Air Force person, and he brought along a son, and his name was Michael Todd. And I met him at age 13. He rolled up a joint and handed it to me, and I started coughing my ass off. And he goes, "Little brother, you don't cough, you don't get off."
Oh,
13
okay.
years old. So that's where it comes. And this kid was pulled up in a 67 Camaro, cloud climber boots, cut-off shorts, old school Hendrix style, man.
The
And
coolest motherfucker
he
you ever
was cool,
saw.
man. He was pretty cool.
I can't look directly at
Dangerous,
you.
but cool. Yeah, dangerous, yeah.
And what did you do after you guys smoked? Do you remember what your adventure was after that?
I think we were just downstairs in the basement hiding the weed and just laughing.
Yeah.
I think we were smoking out of an old ceramic dragon bong.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah.
Do you remember the first instance when you knew everyone knew you were high, like in public or I guess wherever at home?
It's interesting because on the mainland, there wasn't really a lot of. I mean, I would say yes, I remember it, but it wasn't wait till high school. So I could definitely remember just walking into the school, but I don't know if really anybody realized I was high because there wasn't really a lot of people smoking weed. On the mainland, like Hawaii, everybody was left and right, but on the mainland, we were all pretty much terrified, so everything was kind of on the low always. But I definitely remember smoking some Hawaiian haze. Well, Hawaii used to ship weed all over the place, so we were getting some killers in Virginia. There was a Hawaiian haze, and I remember smoking out of the can with my brother, and he drops me off in 9th grade, and I walk in, and the lockers are breathing. The lockers are breathing, man. And then I woke up, and it was 6th period and time to go home. And
Nice.
Nobody even said a damn thing. So, yeah, it was
Coolest
crazy.
day of school ever.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Right on. So you run Care Waialua. Tell us about Care Waialua.
Yeah, I'm actually the co-owner of Care Waialua. My partner, me, and Lawrence Rich kind of started doing a little outdoor grows down in Waialua, back behind Pahihi. And it just kind of started with a few people needing some weed, and then a couple cancer people showing up needing some RSO, and then from there it's turned into what it is now. We're out in Mokalia now, and we're at 2,000 patients strong. So it's pretty amazing how it's grown, and just from compassion and getting people medicine. And it's definitely taught me a lot of lessons on cannabis as I've seen it as a kid and now as I see it as an adult. Yeah. Definitely.
So all the patients you have with you guys now, they've all designated Care Waialua as their caretaker. How does that
Yeah, so they've designated Care Waialua as their grow site.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, the caretaker's kind of a one-on-one thing for Hawaii. So everybody just comes in and label our site on your grow site, and we're good to roll. So yeah, so it's just come in, volunteer as much time as you want, spend as much time as you need or don't need. You know, we have definitely people that are like invalids in bed that we deliver to. So, you know, that whole system of having to grow your own weed isn't always easy for people who can't grow, period. So
Right.
we try to
Right.
help out a lot of people. Yeah.
That underline of compassion, right? It's like across the board. And that's what we want to tag as our new founding stigma is compassion. No matter what the means is, and like for people that don't know, is that's a lot of fucking patience, and that's a lot of weed, that's a lot of production. So you're putting yourself out there for many of things, you know, like the law. You know, a lot of people are afraid to go that big, you know, even if they're small backyard grows. So you're putting your neck out there, and you're putting your neck out there for compassion to help the people that need the medicine that can't get the medicine, right?
Yeah, I'd have to say, you know, it started off as kind of a lot of paranoia and scaredness and what was going to happen repercussion-wise with the state of Hawaii. But then as people just kept coming at us and going, hey, we need help, we need help, we need help, it drove us to a spot where we didn't really have a choice anymore. You know, it was
Right.
like, if we don't do this, these people are not going to get helped. And so we're on a mission now, and we're going to do the best we can to push through with this. And we felt like, you know, just understanding cannabis laws for Hawaii, especially the medical cannabis stuff, that we felt pretty safe that even if they were going to rough us up and do weird stuff, that in the long run it was all going to work out because the laws were so gray.
And in your heart, you know, it's just a fucking plan.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
whatever law, I think Stan was saying something like, yeah, a law is a suggestion, and especially if it's something that morally, you know, you're not doing anything wrong.
Right.
So it's easier to make that decision, you know, like, hey, these people need fucking help. We got to do it. We don't have a choice. Right. I feel you on that.
Yeah, and there's definitely been times where, you know, we were visited by law enforcement and we really didn't feel like, we really didn't know what was going to happen, you know, with people threatening us, and this is a narcotics investigation, and not knowing really what medical cannabis was, and we're going to rip your plants and all this kind of nonsense. But it's all really, it's worked its way out in a really beautiful place, and we're really empowered now where it's unstoppable now. It's really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Nice. The facilities, when you guys first started, I remember the first time I went there, it was like a couple of tents and containers, and it's like seeing it at this past event when we were chilling, I was like, wow, it fucking grew. You know, the people that geek out on greenhouses, the fucking next gen is like the Ferrari of greenhouses. Yeah. So I'm looking at like, holy shit, man. Like, how much do you guys have of that right now?
Yeah, we're sitting at built on our farm right now is about 20,000 square feet.
Uh-huh.
And then we got another 20,000 across the road we're working on. Yeah. And it's just, you know, my opinion when I was working with my partner and stuff, and he was kind of like, can't we just grow in these smaller tents? And I'm like, well, you know, we got a lot to do here, and we really need to protect this crop and make it so it's a really good medical thing. It's controlled from the environment. You know, Hawaii is just an insane environment to grow in, you know what I mean? And so,
let alone Mokuleia, you got
yeah.
them seasons.
Yep, exactly. Rain everywhere.
Right.
So for me, it was just kind of like, let's do this. And then, you know, I think the biggest thing is like the right people got to come along to help you.
Yep.
And if you're a kind of person that's like not willing to take money from people because you know it's not the right thing to do, then you're not gonna move ahead. And then all of a sudden the right people come by and they're like patients, right? And they just happen to own this and that, and they're like, hey, we're willing to risk $1 million in here to see what you're doing, because what you're doing is special.
Yep.
And even the lamb we're on right now in Mokuleia, you know, the guy who we were renting from over in Pahihi, that lamb was about to go up and it was done. And I asked him, I said, you know, we need help here. We don't have money. He's like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, well, these plots are about 150K. He's like, I'm going to help you get that, and you can pay me back later because I see what you're doing. And
wow.
So this is really where it all stemmed from.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty crazy. All compassion again. It's just been crazy.
Right?
Yeah,
that underlying compassion, and people are willing to they see that, and they're like, you know what? I believe in this so much. Fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
It's reassuring to hear and see that that's happening.
Especially nowadays. You know, there's a lot of dog-eat-dog world out there. There's a lot of fucking smoke and mirrors, getting down to the root of the thing and having people, you know, actually be taken care of. You know, there's a lot of shit that people can't do because we live in a confined area, or they have a medical disability where they can't do their own. So,
Can we roll some
Oh, yeah,
of the
of
shit up that's on
course.
this table here? That
Oh,
I know
sure.
everybody's looking at the table like, why aren't they touching it? So
Well,
what is that first
a
one? Here,
proper introduction,
I'll roll
man.
that shit while
Yes, sir.
while you guys smoke or talk. But I also thought we should
Sour apples.
shout out to fucking our production crew. We got a full house tonight behind where you guys can't see. Anu and fucking Bud Naked.
So-
The Dove and the Bud have returned.
Nice. And then back of that, we got our sponsors, Solidify, giving us some yummy pumpkin. What do you call it?
Pumpkin roll.
buns, pumpkin rolls.
Pumpkin
Jesus
roll.
Christ, have you tried that?
I did. I ate one.
Oh my God,
I ate
dude.
the top part of mine.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was
There you go,
delicious. Always, always, always.
Sour apples.
Okay. Go. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to get
No,
something going here.
no, we're just talking about how that's the underlying compassion and someone's willing
I know.
to
I was here.
invest, right?
I was
no,
sitting
I'm
right
actually
next to you.
talking to myself and like giving myself
I
a little
remember.
a fucking run back. But
I do think what's kind of important is like, you know, the dog eat dog word and how we've all been raised around here, and some of us don't trust each other, and it's always running into each other. The one big thing that we see when bringing people together with cannabis in an environment that's not around money and stuff like that is you see people's attitudes change super quick, and now they're like, oh, this world isn't so bad after all.
Yeah.
And we've seen that in a massive way. You know, we've seen a lot of people come through our farm that are like a little bit rough and a little bit, you know, this, and once they get in, they don't know how to behave. They're just like, what is going on, man?
Right.
Like, this is life, dude. And that's what we're, you know, that's what's big about us at Care Waialua. It's not just about cannabis for us. It's really about changing how we hang out with each other. It's super important for
it's
us.
therapy, man. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Super important.
you're working with plants. There's nothing negative about that, and everyone you're working around is happy to be doing what they do. So
Yeah.
that positivity is going to rub off no matter what.
I can
Yeah.
hear our production crew whispering back there.
Sweet nothings, just whispering sweet nothings.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it's glad to have you. I'm glad you guys are back. Both of you.
Yes. Welcome
Okay,
back,
yeah,
guys.
miss you guys.
Hell yeah.
Missed you.
Hey, how did that Mary Monarch thing go?
Which one?
Go listen to Voices from the Planet, episode
13?
154
Oh shit.
or 3.
Gosh, 154? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Long time. Voices on the Planet had a guest.
Yeah, that was like 100 episodes ago since my last.
Yeah, for real, right? So what's your guys' future plans as far as the direction you want to be headed? I know Hawaii right now they're talking about a lot of shifts in laws and things are gonna be made, a lot of red tape. A lot of people don't know, what to expect, especially card holders.
Yeah.
They're sitting back hearing all these, this and that. They want to know like what to expect, with the 329 or even like a simple compliance check. Like how should they handle that when someone's coming by, or like if they just got their card, what's that going to look like for them with the laws changing, and how is that going to affect you guys in the future?
Yeah, I'll try and answer that in a couple ways. I think I can start with, kind of about where do we think we're going,
Yeah.
and for us, at Care Waialua, that's always been a big thing where I built these big greenhouses and I wanted us to be outspoken to understand what's going on here. You know what I mean? That we're not about to stop. And so for us, this is thousands, maybe 10,000 jobs of cannabis industry for the state of Hawaii and locals. And that's a big deal for us. You know what I mean? So when people see me build a big greenhouse, they're like, well, it's you. I'm like, no, man, this is to get the itch going so these people understand what is the capacity is here, that you can have your own farm, and I think that's really where we started off with a lot of that. And then, just that's really what it's all about for us. You know what I mean? And we've been hiring lobbyists and doing policy, and I've been actively involved in something that I never thought I'd be that person. I was a weed grower and just Jason, you know what I mean? And now I'm like sitting down with Josh Green and Kaika Anderson and just, well, how's legalization? I'm like, well, legalization is cool, but if you don't have a framework here for it in Hawaii, you're just going to have big business come in and take over this.
Yeah.
You need to really build you need to build the tier licensing for these people here in Hawaii, and then as far as like, compliance, we've seen that change even since we got visited in 2015. I mean, to me, where we stand right now in our IG under Care_Waialua, we just kind of guide everybody to what to do, you know what I mean, and feel good about it,
Right.
Like, first of all, nobody's allowed on your property without a search warrant. That's just plain and simple. We don't care if you're growing weed or whatever. That's just the law, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that is the first important thing that when Department of Safety or narcotics comes and wants to come in and look at your plants, you don't have to give that up. That's all on you. You know what I mean? You could say, hey, no, I don't want you on my property, plain and simple, you know?
Right.
And so, and we've stood behind that and we've seen it work. And, you know, the last time we were visited, we had, well, besides last week, but like 6 months ago, we had 2 helicopters and 20 agents, and we stood them all down and they left because we said, hey, we're done with this kind of guys. You're not doing proper compliance checks. You're doing kind of like narcotics investigation stuff. You're not being
Gotcha.
kind to growers, you know what I mean? And
Gotcha.
So we chased them all out, you know what I mean? And that's how we've continued to posture ourselves and share that information with people. We try to get compliance up on the IG when they're around. So if someone visits your farm, you can call me directly, and I'll put you on the line with my lawyer in like seconds. And that's the way we've been doing it with the.
That's what's up.
Yeah, the coconut wire. It's
cool
been
as
awesome.
shit.
So that just happened to us the other day, where my friend's farm down the road, he was growing, and they're here, Jay, and I'm like, hold on, I'll get my lawyer to call you, and he calls. And
Awesome.
so they're trying to use a different statute and saying, hey, we can come on the property. It's a felony arrest. And my lawyer's like, well, hold on a second here. Actually, no, you got to schedule an appointment for this one.
Right.
So yeah, just trying to help other growers out so they're empowered.
Mm-hmm.
And also they're not sitting around going, well, my neighbors are worried about the smell and stuff, because that stuff's just all got to go. This
Yeah.
is your medicine. This is your plant.
Right.
And you shouldn't have to feel like
It's your right.
you have to hide. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
And so right there, you made a fucking pretty important thing, scheduling. I didn't know that before today. You know,
Yeah.
like, okay, now you can request for them to schedule a compliance check.
Yeah, so they kind of drew up a new law. I put it on our IG. It's kind of this weird law that sits within the pharmaceutical place where they can actually come in and see what kind of chemicals you're using and stuff. Kind of don't know a ton about it, but, you know, after our lawyer saw the statute, he pretty much read to them, hey, you have to make an appointment. And they're like, we don't have to make an appointment. And they're like, no, yeah, you do. You better call back. And they did. And yes, they had to make an appointment. And so if they visited my friend's farm, we already knew the story. They came to my farm. I'm like, you were just down the street, brother.
Right.
You're going to need an appointment to get on this
Yeah.
one, too.
Cell
You know,
phone's faster than you,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
So that works for everybody, residential including.
that's correct. Anybody who's a 329 card holder, you know, you have all the rights in the world. I think a lot of people have seen in the past what they do and are fearing
Yeah.
that they're going to go to jail and stuff, but you're not. I promise you. Yeah, and we got your back. You
And
just-
even like, you know, a lot of people that are 329 card holders that come to me, they're like, I'm just afraid of the attention that my neighborhood's gonna get, and how embarrassing that looks in my household if someone gets raided. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
it looks like it's a drug house, but it just had a couple plants in the back. You know,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of people still stuck in the reefer madness times, you know what I mean? And we just got to get through that. You know, it's just, that's not where we are anymore. And if you look at all the states around the world, you know, just like, you know, small kind, talking about dispensaries at Washington and bread and breakfast, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's where we are now. And whether Hawaii
Sure.
wants to accept that or not, it's coming. And
Right.
so we're going to get you to accept it. Yeah.
So how does one be able to create a collective of such magnitude?
You know, it just starts. Ours has always been word of mouth, you know.
Ah.
So you build something, we could easily help you set it up. There's a couple leases in place that are just straight up Barney cartoon forms. They're just super easy, you
Gotcha.
know. But it's just kind of accountability, right? So
Mhm,
you want to have
mhm.
accountability with people that are growing on your site. So in case you get that one weird person that wants to like try and take it all down, it's not going to happen, right? You
Gotcha.
signed it. You are who you are. You're not entrapping me. Yada yada yada. And
Right.
so I think that's a really important thing. But you know, what I tell everybody is just go for it, man. Don't stop. It's time. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I don't need to be the only Care Waialua. It's time to go big, and it's time to get people medicine, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dispensers are charging 16.8. That's unacceptable, man.
Right.
This is medical marijuana, man. This
Gotcha.
is unacceptable. Yeah.
It's a God-given gift to have this plant. So to put such restrictions on it it's an atrocity. But I think now this day and age we're moving in a direction where that could totally be possible. You know, like it could just poof. Collectives oversaturate the everything, and it's not even oversaturating the market because it's craft cannabis. So
Yeah.
it's gonna demand its fair market value as any produce that you would buy. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I'm excited for that, and I hope that does happen to where we'll see some talented folks that normally would be in the shadows come to the surface, and what's it called? Rejuvenate our state, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Vitalize.
think sharing that energy with everybody and letting everybody know that, hey, you could become a craft cannabis farmer and you don't, we'll give you the directions, man. Here we
Yep.
go. Let's empower everybody because, honestly, like Maine's got like 300 or 400 different cultivation licenses and they still can't keep up. There's
Right.
just so much opportunity here in Hawaii, especially with 1.5 million population, that we could all be doing our own thing and having fun. And then you got tourism, and we'll let the dispensary kind of sweep them up a little bit and just enjoy ourselves. So this place has got plenty. We used to always have these talks. Well, what's fair? How many grow sites should you have? I'm like, what's fair is you let everybody get a cultivation license and do their thing.
Right.
That's the only thing that's fair. You can't pick and choose. It ain't going to happen. If you said, hey, you're going to be the pilot, Care Waialua, and we're going to let you grow, I'm not going to accept it, man, because I'm not going to be the only person doing this. That's not fair. So,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I can't do
I
that.
love that. I love that
Can't do
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give everybody opportunity. You know, that's jobs sitting on the table that
Yeah.
for people, and it's a win-win for the state if you think about it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the economy gets stimulated so much. There's so much jobs. Like there's so much to contribute with just this one entity sliding on in. You know, so.
Yeah, Maine just made in the last 5 years $700 million in taxes from private growers.
Well, shit.
Yeah.
You know. Fuck. I remember going.
Show these guys the money, and then they'll be like, "Fuck, dude."
We're trying.
That's what it is, dude.
That's. I mean, we all know money talks, right? And it's always follow the money. So let's like lead a nice green path to that stack of money
Yep.
that the state could be collecting. I mean, shit.
And you guys will be champions in the end. You know what I mean?
right.
It's as easy as that, man. We're looking for the champions. We've been talking to Josh Green and Kaika Anderson and all the people that people really don't believe in sometimes. And we're like, you know, our lobbyist, I'll be straight up, is Ernie Martin. You know, he used to be at old Honolulu City Council, and he's on board, man. He's losing it. And it's not just the money involved. He's just like, holy shit, what is going on here? I'm like, this is what it's all about. Look at
Big
these,
momentum, right?
Yeah, look at these people, man. You know, bring him to our 329 event. He's just like, this is outrageous. I'm like, look at all these happy, safe, smoking weed people.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool as hell.
Are there a lot of local politicians who are starting to come around towards the, you know, the stigma and the status of cannabis in Hawaii?
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look at anybody, Josh Green and younger, they're all very aware of cannabis, and I don't think they have too many stigmas. They're just not educated. But if you get older than Josh Green and the old politicians in place, they're very, in my opinion, and data-driven, is religious, anti-cannabis, very, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? And it's the data's there to speak for it. So I think, you know, getting those guys to release is going to be, I think it's going to be easy. I think it's happening. Yeah, I'm excited.
I just saw a news story about two Delta 8 shops, right? And they got like, not busted. I drove by one today and it was still open, so they didn't get busted. But the news report was about how like they bought some and took it to a test lab, like to actually test what it was, and they were actually selling like
Weed.
Yeah, Delta 9 shit.
Yeah, a
real.
lot of that's coming out of the CBD industry. You know what I mean? And these guys, you know, even the people that are holding CBD cards, you know, there's 3 people in the DOH trying to enforce all this stuff. You know, that's dispensaries, that's hemp licenses, that's all that stuff, and it's just there's no capacity to do it. You know what I mean? And so, you know,
when these like negative stories pop off about, you know, these things, and it looks bad for everybody.
Right.
Dang it.
And that's why we don't want to make a case on cannabis. We want to keep people in that positive realm, you know what I mean? And want to be a positive reflection on the community. And like I was just talking to a friend of mine that like my biggest dream would be the preservation of our culture with the help of cannabis. You know, cannabis brings economic stimulation to where we need it in the places of great poverty and put some pretty damn good education there, you know? And I think that's totally attainable right now because there's money sitting on the table, and we don't have to talk about money, but it's going to take money for us to make a change. And I'd say if we're already here doing it, you know, we have some people that need jobs, some local people that need jobs. Let's grow some good cannabis and put some money in our culture.
Yeah, these children need to stop leaving this island. It's just plain and simple. It just breaks my heart. And then you can walk down King Street and see the homeless problem. Right. And, you know, people just turn their eye. I'm like, this is serious business, man, and it's going to affect you. You know, we can go back to the pitchforks and fire if you really want, but this will affect Hawaii sooner or later if you don't deal with it now.
100%.
So, yeah.
Keep people here. Keep it all local. Keep the money in Hawaii.
Yeah, man.
You know, and it'll pan out. It's just there's so much outside influence coming in and just taking over, right?
Yeah, and we see, you know, even the direction of what cannabis can do. Now you're talking about going back to food crops and having money to do that and fund farmers, you know. Right. You talk about poverty. You talk about, you know, drug addiction and drug abuse. You know? I mean, you know, even like drug abuse, they don't even let them have cannabis in the places where they're staying.
Right.
Because it's against the law. So how do you even begin to try to normalize cannabis if you're already looking at it as a bad drug for people who are recovering from crystal meth or heroin or something like that, and all they want to do is smoke a joint.
Or even work, right? They get drug tested.
Yep, exactly.
Like, how the fuck are you going to... Imagine how much really inspiring people that just got left to the wayside because they would fail a drug test. How much people, like talented individuals that would make a change in our society, but they couldn't pass fucking drug tests because of weed.
Yeah, we just had a patient that was a janitor at the airport that just got fired for not passing a drug test. A janitor at the airport, brother. I'm like, come on, man, really? I mean,
What is he
come on.
going to do? Misuse
yeah,
a mop?
I
Come
know,
on,
man.
dude.
Yeah. If anybody needs a joint more than anybody who's doing that repetition, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
might need a
cleaning your
big joint if I'm
toilets,
cleaning
bro.
the toilet. Yeah. You better give me some good shit for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd smoke a joint and clean the toilet.
He's not a pilot. He's not like flying planes or like.
Well, even that. So, like, even a pilot dealing with all the stress and responsibility of being a
Did I
pilot.
just
Yeah,
get myself
that's
in
your
trouble for
job.
that comment?
But they should be able to relax.
True.
You know, if a pilot has the weekend off, he should be able to smoke on the weekend and show up to work on Monday and still be fine. The test would just highly disagree with that shit. You know what I mean?
Is there a way the test can be that accurate? Like, oh, you smoked this weekend, but you're not high now.
Swabs up to 48 hours, I believe. But even that, if you smoke a joint on Friday, you run the risk of testing positive on Monday. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's not alcohol, right? It's cannabis, and that's a big difference. You know what I mean? It's not opioids. It's not. This is a very different drug. You know what I mean? A very different creature.
Yeah.
So you know, it's honestly, you can almost do anything smoking cannabis, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, you can almost do anything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's at your level. You know, if you don't feel safe doing it, then probably shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a very self-aware substance, whereas like you're very like you focus on yourself, you know. So you're not like belligerent, violent. You're just worried about how you're conducting yourself, you know, and getting, you know, existing basically.
Yeah.
So there's no room for any of that, you know, stupid behavior or misjudgment. You might get one smoker in a while that just might overdo it, but for the most part, you probably won't pull a statistic like alcohol.
Right. No doubt about it. Might have a few grumpy people in the bunch, but that's about it.
Of course.
I'm one of those. I'm one of those sometimes. Let a little grumpiness out.
So this is the sour punch.
Sour
yeah?
punch.
Sour punch. So a little purple punch in this thing. I like it.
That one's tasty. I want to try that apple pie. That one smells super doughy.
I didn't get to smell that.
Oh, dude. That one smells
Oh, shit. Thank you. So how long have you guys been running Care Waialua? Like, when did you guys start that whole
Yeah,
brainchild?
2016 is where it kind of all started. Oh, yeah. You don't cough, you don't get off.
You don't cough, you don't get off.
There you go.
There you go. Hitting the joint.
I'm going to roll this next one.
Yeah, we started about 2016, started with about 20, 30 people. Same thing, come in, get a grow site number. An interesting concept when it was all happening and trying to make it all work. And then we moved from this area out to Mokalia, and it just kind of started changing. We built a database. We started bringing in some security for safety.
Wow.
And once we felt like we had all that in place, we just let it roll. And that's where it went. And it's just amazing. I mean, I can't even say we've had one problem. And we're up to almost 2,000 patients, and it's just been mind-boggling, man.
How did you guys grow your patient list? Like just word of mouth?
Just word of mouth,
Yeah,
yep.
that's
Just
right.
word of mouth, man.
No
Yeah.
requirements, nothing. Just word of
Nothing,
mouth.
man.
Huh?
Yeah, and if you had your 329 card already, you can come on the same day and change your grow site form, and we're on. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
So you
yeah.
guhave help people with all the paperwork and everything?
Yeah. We have
Right on.
mobile nurses and everything. Yeah.
So you guys also help people get cards too?
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
And we
shit.
pay for everybody's card too. So.
What?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah. We always
dope.
pay everybody's membership fee and their renewal fees every year. Yeah. Just too easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's nobody else doing that shit.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of
Dr.
people are
Clink ain't
intimidated,
doing that
you know?
shit.
Yeah, and it's incentive, right? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, if these people are willing to pay for my card, then maybe there's something cool going on here, And It's just, it's a lot of misinformation on a lot of stuff, but we just let them know, hey, man, there's nothing forcing you here, man. You can check this out. You can leave tomorrow, but I guarantee you when you walk in that gate, you ain't leaving, brother.
Right. right. Yeah, the
gonna see that
environment's
menu.
super nice, dude. Everybody's super friendly. The artwork's cool.
Yeah.
I like the flow of what you guys have done.
Yeah.
I see good things, when I go there. I don't have any. There's no indication of any type of thing that would raise a red flag that like, hey, me as a grower, I feel jeopardized. No, you can see compassion, right? You can see people there. It's the people. It's not one guy dictating an entire operation. It's an actual literal collective.
And always identifying with people, you know. I mean, I was kind of talking to my friends out front about positive reinforcement and just being kind. And as soon as you just let all that negativity go and you don't focus on how people are acting and you just see, what do you need, man?
Right.
How can I make this turn for you? You seem upset, you know. And so I think that's really what's made the word of mouth change everything. Because, like, although I can't remember everybody nowadays, I'll still spend 30 minutes with you if you drag me out, man. Yeah. And we'll just talk and rock and, you know, and
right.
Yeah, it's fun.
It makes people feel special too. It's like, hey, you know, this guy has a compassion enough to house my cards, and he's still fucking talking to me, you know?
Right. I'm not just some patient number.
Yeah.
Like when you call certain, you know, medical facilities, the first thing they ask you is, what's your medical card number instead of what's your name or how are you even doing?
Yeah.
Just like, fucking, what's your number? Jesus Christ.
I'm bleeding to death. Don't worry about that. I want your number.
We try to make it a fun environment, a talking trash environment. You know, you got to come and go. If you want to stay and go over to smoke a joint under the tent, you know, we try to make it fun. Yeah. We have food there every day now, so it's pretty cool. It's just kind of feeding people and just tax it, right? It's a tax write-off. You know, we don't make any money. It's like, hey, there's falafel here today, or there's Chris's wagons in the house, or, you know, it's just, you know, always giving people just a little more relaxation, you know what I mean? Just a reason to want to stay and hang out, you know what I mean? Like, oh, shit, well, where I used to just go and pick up my flower, now I'm going to go over to Jay's and spend a couple hours up there smoking doobies and talking shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a safe place.
People, like, the work and, like, all the tending to all the plants and all that stuff, is that volunteers or is that actual staff, or the patients come and tend their own?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, we definitely have a permanent workforce, I wish you would call it, or it just wouldn't move. It's just too much going on with cutting hundreds and thousands of clones and perpetual harvesting, and it's just too much going on that you could, when you start a farm, you're just like, whoops, didn't think about that.
Right.
You know, so it's everybody's on there, and then after that you can volunteer, and then every once in a while if we have heavy work, we'll kind of do some trades and stuff. You know, like if I feel like I'm just working somewhere, I'm like, I got to give them some shit for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we'll do a little trade or something with them. Yeah. But most of it's we try to get people to volunteer, mostly just to come in and, you know, step outside of that world and grow a plant.
Get to know it too. Get to know
amend
where their
soil.
medicine comes from.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's cool too, especially if you are a patient and have designated you guys as your grow site, then to actually be able to go and like see the process and like check it out and maybe like even contribute in a little way as much as you can, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's funny, you walk a patient and they're like, well, where's my 10 plants? I'm like, got your choice here, brother. Go for it. You know, there's
There
just
you go.
thousands of clones, right? They're just little 1 foot, 1 ounce plants, but they're just everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry.
Yeah,
So might have to put this damn joint down. I think I'm done with this motherfucker.
It's also that reassure you don't get to go to pharmaceuticals and be like, oh, where's my Vicodin coming from?
show me how my oxys are made.
Yeah.
And we've shared lots of oxy stories on that farm. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Just trying to get people away from them and stuff. And yeah, it's brutal. I mean, my story about Oxycontin, right? It's opium, right? And people that grow poppies and stuff in Afghanistan and stuff, besides the drug trade, that's the drug you use when you're leaving the world, you know? There's nothing left. You're going to fucking, I'm not saying that you couldn't, like, dabble in a little opium, but, for the most part, that flower is so addictive that it's like, well, we're going to use this for a certain different kind of medicine,
Right.
People who are passing away or just miserable, and don't have anything to control pain, then it makes sense,
A little more terminal, not so much a quality of life enhancer.
Yeah.
And I tell people that, like, some people are like, oh, well, this weed didn't take away my pain. I was like, it doesn't take away pain. It's not going to block anything. It's going to help you deal with the misery you're in and put your mind and your head into a more positive state of,
Yeah, and that's hard with pain. Pain sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Know the deal.
So this is the...
I'm not sure what's
Apple
getting me on
cheese?
that. I was
No.
kind of hoping it would catch the punch, but that's definitely catching the sour, man.
Yeah?
Some eyeballs crossing a little bit. Yeah. Thank you
Yes.
for the sour punch, Harry.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the man himself.
What was this one? Apple cream?
Apple pie.
Apple pie.
I think it had something else besides pie.
Yeah.
It was apple though, right?
Yeah, there's apple.
It was
in
apple
there.
in it
Yeah,
for sure,
apple
no doubt
something.
about it.
Apple.
Yeah.
I want to say apple cream pie.
It was something
But
like
this
that.
is a family show, goddammit.
I've never had an apple cream pie. I like banana cream pies.
You know apple cream pie?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
know that was a thing.
Same way as banana cream pie, made with
Oh,
apples.
apples?
Yes.
I just want to shout out that, I'm stoked
think
to
that-
be here.
Thanks,
and what
man.
you guys are doing is also part of this mission, So this is super, super important what
Thank
you guys
you.
are doing and the time, thousands of hours you spend of your own time to make this work. This is how we're going to do it, man. This is it right here. So it's ridiculous.
And it's
Yeah.
fun too. It's not like it's not like it's torture. Like just kicking it with cool people, man, and just hanging out, smoking weed. I mean, we fucking do this anyway. We might as well do it and like have common folk, jump on live and watch our shit and just maybe feel inspired. Like, fuck, that's the truth they're talking.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go outside and tomorrow's a new day.
For sure.
Yeah, I never thought like when we started this that it would have this kind of impact and like
That's
kind
what
of trajectory.
Yep, that works.
Like fuck yeah.
That's the same thing that happened to me. I mean, it was like, what are we doing here? We're growing some weed, and all of a sudden you're like hiring lobbyists and shit. I mean,
fall into it.
The trajectory just took me. I didn't even have a choice. It's like, you'll be going this way, motherfucker. You know what I mean? It just been a ride ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes the universe conspires in your favor.
Crazy.
Are you?
So we got some questions.
I was gonna say we did actually
Yeah.
get some questions.
No, I've been
online.
asking them as they go along. Like, one of the questions was like, "What is the
Shaking his head.
requirements?"
I was gonna ask you, Anu, if you could pull up
I'm super focused right now. Like
from the text.
text.
Bro, he's fucking lasered in.
No,
I know one of the questions was, did Jay ever try DMT? So, have you tried DMT? Let's cross it
No.
off the fucking list.
Yeah, that kind
Try
of,
looking
the ecstasies and stuff came like right after me.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So,
and I was
no.
too scared trying that. I was
Me
already like
too.
32, 33. I'm like, no. I tried acid and some other shit, and even got a little trouble for we were just bad kids, like freebasing, right?
Right,
I mean,
right,
I went in
right,
the
right.
army because I was freebasing. Dude.
Right,
I mean, that's
right.
ridiculous. So all this weird stuff. You're like, holy cow.
Someone needs that intervention, That's
man.
there you go.
Man.
Question:
Ready.
What's
Here
your
we go.
favorite medium to grow in?
Well, I've taken a growing journey. I could tell you that I started indoor hydro with Pure Blend Pro and PVC tubes, and you could grow some badass indoor weed with it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Just Pure Blend Pro.
Nice.
2 parts, veg and flower.
Simple.
Done. 30 milliliters, yeah. And grow some of the best top 44 from BC I ever grew. But then I got out here, and I was still kind of growing in containers and going through some stuff. And then I started throwing a few plants outdoors. And I was kind of getting over the containers, just problems, right? The AC broke. I'm like, I'm over this, dude. I can't even
Right.
leave for 2 weeks and go snowboarding and keep an eye on this thing.
I know, right?
Yeah, so it's automated. I'm like, well, not quite.
Come back to dead fish. I don't know what automated
Yeah,
means.
exactly. So then we went outdoors, and that's where it kind of all changed. It just kind of, and that's where I started learning about like really high terpene plants and soil. You know what I mean? And you just can't. It's the science, right? The soil and the organic soil and the turning soil is the banger of terpenes throughout the industry. You know what I mean?
Right.
Anybody who's doing that knows it. And so that's kind of where I went with it. I just started build a soil, man.
Hell
Colorado,
yeah.
dude.
Hell yeah. Build the soil with the shit, man.
Mix up the class Macoot and let's do this.
Hell yeah, man. And I like the way, like, the evolution of, like, when I first started growing, it was, like, real guerrilla style, and, like, what you saw on YouTube, you applied right away. But I like the evolution of everybody. It's like, let's embrace the naturalness of this plant and stop fucking with it. Let's just give it what it needs, stop fucking with it, and let genetics speak for itself. And, like, right, you've been seeing some people pull out some crazy weed nowadays.
Yep. Genetics are big. We're all seeing
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. You just see something new and you're like, what is that?
Yeah. And that's another thing we're talking about breeding, right?
Yeah.
The wormhole people are going out and fucking breeding. It's unreal, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Ridiculous.
Shout out to Professor P.
Professor
Who
P.
asked that question, Anu?
That was 73rd Eye on IG.
Oh, right on.
Drewskis.
Yeah.
Kind of just came quick with that one.
Almost.
I know there's a couple more.
Scan up. I had a couple, and I'll try and catch up with them too.
Professor P and the Huckleberry Cough.
Yeah, man. That's the one. I'm still stuck on. I just harvested the orange cheese yesterday, and I was like, oh man, coming to the house, like fucking gross. It was so good. Like, you can use those 2 words in the
No,
same.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
I
I mean,
know.
right?
Cheese.
Yeah.
You're just like, ow, that hurts.
Oh,
But that's right.
Offensive.
It's like, I think I used to do some Northern Lights like that, and it was almost like a cat piss smell.
Yes.
When you're trimming it, you're like, I'm so over trimming this right now. You're like, smoke something, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Put some Vicks in your nose and call it a
Why are
day.
you complaining? You just need to smoke more.
Just blow out hard through your nose after your first inhale. Get that cat piss smell out of your nose.
Okay. Let's see.
There's a couple other ones, Anu, from earlier. There's like a Mike screenshotted it and sent it to the group text.
Okay. So here's a question.
Oh.
Is there a higher rate for a certain number of cards? So if you go over an X amount of cards on one lot, is there a different rate that it would apply?
I'm going to have to say, I almost was common-minded on that. When you started off, you said, is there a higher rate? I'm like, where are we going with this shit, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's nothing, man. It's stacking cards like California.
way?
All day, man.
All day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let the force be with you. That shit's on, dude. Give us a call. It's happening, dude. Don't stop.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that was one of the questions.
We're not asking you not to grow 2,000 plants. Please bring that shit on. So, yeah.
Oh, 100%. You know, that's
Yeah,
the
it's
more
fun.
the more you
It's
know.
fun.
You know, like I'm all for people just growing. Just fucking go.
You know, we live in Hawaii, man. It's so easy to live here. Simple. We all fish. We surf. I mean, what do I need money for, really? You know what I mean? I just got to
Right.
survive, running businesses and stuff. So it's so easy to like cut your dollar to nothing because you're like, I really don't need this, dude. This is
Right.
I got some stuff built here and I got safety here, but I don't need any much more than that, you know. And
Right.
it
100%.
makes it
dude.
easy. Yeah.
Having modest living it also helps too. You
Yeah,
know, not being
yeah.
a real high maintenance person and just kind of like, you know, money comes, money goes. We're happy, we're healthy. We're rolling in weed. You know what I mean? Like you have fields, you going down, you got fucking basically greenhouses chocked with herb,
It's
and
ridiculous.
that right there alone,
It's
you know,
unreal.
that's a higher quality of life to some people that never get to deal with that. They'll walk through the greenhouse and be like, "Wow, this is fulfilling for me." You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
how would that make you feel?
I don't know. It made me feel happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a patient walking through it, you know, you don't get to see it every day, and then finally you get to go and crack the doors open to the greenhouse and even contribute a little bit and
Yeah.
work. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a special thing, man.
Oh yeah, totally. Rarely do you ever get to like see the process and actually be hands on where your medicine comes from.
Right. Right. So
Right.
we need to grow your own medicine. Like, hey,
Or even
Fucking-
talk to the guy who's like actually producing your Tylenol or like whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like when does that ever happen?
right. Never.
Yeah, so-
Never.
That's fucking cool.
I tell you, it's still pretty exciting, like walking into one of the agritechs, right? When it's fully loaded to show someone, you feel like you're that person seeing it the first time all over again. You walk in and you're like, sea of green. It's
Yeah.
just
Right.
everywhere. You're still like,
You're experiencing their stoke too, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, this
how
is
come this
fucking
happens
awesome.
every time I walk through the door? What's going on here?
Like shit don't really get old.
It won't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's every time. Unless there's a problem, then you get a little stressed out. You're like, oh, that's some burning. Not too
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
about that.
And you like every ounce of strength is like you just want to close that fucking door back. Where you're like, I gotta deal with it. Fuck, I gotta be a grown up.
Correct. I'd have to say that was probably one of the most challenging things was building a farm with capacity like that, and we're not even at the capacity, and trying to get it up going fast was a lot of learning curves.
that.
Growing styles, even knowing a lot of growing styles and still try to pick the right one in a new greenhouse and stuff. It was
Right.
challenging for sure. Yeah.
It's
I would
always-
say anybody who wants to start a co-op and start getting big greenhouses going, give yourself a good year when that greenhouse is built before you even think you're going to do anything. Because once a greenhouse is built, it takes about a year to really get a good harvest in there and figure out what you like and what works well. And so don't stress anything but the first year and just make sure you got a little money saved up.
And you gotta like know every square inch of your greenhouse.
Sure.
You know, there could be something hiding in there that could be detrimental to your plants, and you don't catch it till later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fuck, power to the people, man. You guys want to start a fucking greenhouse? Go for it.
So is that kind of like a quarantine period too? Like after it's all built, structures built, of letting like
You're learning.
and watch and see like
Yeah.
what's going on in the building.
You'll hit hot spots. It'll be like extra damp.
How
you know?
to deal with everything.
Yeah.
IPMs and sprays. I mean, for a plant, we do foliar integrated pest management sprays every 3 days.
Oh,
Right?
yeah?
Even in
Nice.
greenhouse.
Nice.
Because the Hawaiian spider mite is no joke, boy.
Yeah. They're extra strong.
That might be a new genetic spider mite on Hawaii.
Fuck, I
You
believe,
never seen
man.
that like this before. Yeah.
Shit.
Like
I
the
mean, literally,
motherfucker-
they're like spots, and all of a sudden they're webs in like 2 days, and they're like, "This is going down. You understand? You missed us, right?"
Yeah. Dude, like at that point in time, it's like if I see webbing, I'm kind of embracing it already. It's
Yep.
like, you know what?
Yeah, that really is
This
beautiful.
crop is what it is. Yeah. You guys built a nice house there.
What can you do at that point? Nothing.
I don't spray anything on my plants, so it's
Yeah.
pretty much like I really hope I pick up the pieces in the end and really hope that they didn't fuck me too bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd rather do that and, you know, get an occasional bug in my bowl than fucking smoking some of the other shit, you know?
Sure.
They killed my plant. I mean, I killed my plant, but
I'm about to say.
We were at the end of our harvest in the first greenhouse, and you had to get it like up on a 8-foot ladder to see the tops. Yeah,
Jeez.
they were too big. It was crazy. And we thought we had everything controlled, but that's a lot of plant, right?
Yes.
That was a lot of plants, and so you get up on the ladder, you start seeing these gray spots. You're like,
Ah,
"Uh-oh,
fuck."
what is that?" And it's spider mites starting their wrath, and you couldn't even see them from the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty
see?
amazing. Yep.
That's what's better to do, you know, small plants and keep it going, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You guys
it's-
just gotta have a ladder, or what? Do you guys got stilts and shit?
No, we don't grow big plants anymore now.
Oh,
it's,
no.
it's over with. It's all C agreed. Yeah.
Like fly a drone in there, and like,
Yeah.
god damn, yeah. I never really thought about that. Those gigantic plants. How are they checking every part of that plant?
and it's crazy. All it takes is one.
Yeah.
They're asexual. So if there's
Oh,
they'll boop, a live baby, they'll just clone themselves, and now you got an infestation. So
Asexual.
it's 100% or nothing, man.
They don't fool around.
They don't fuck around.
We gave them our rule with the spider mites was we'll control them till about week 6, and then everybody's on their own.
Right.
So you're just like, I'm not. Whoever survives with this one, good luck.
All right. Strongest survives.
And they usually make it.
Yeah.
You know, spider mites take a little bit to really start doing some major damage.
I've been fucking with a lot of immunity in plants, like hormones, right? After that tissue culture class, have been fucking me up. So chitin is a hormone that you want to induce in your plants. I think we went over previous podcasts, like insect frass, crab meal, and all that stuff would pop out and kind of induce an infestation. So your plant naturally would be like, all right, cool, whoop.
Yep.
So I've noticed like that on the flip, because I'm going to flower and I'm like, oh shit, come on, hold out on me, girls. That on the flip is actually really beneficial. I noticed that my plants give it that extra Emmett Smith stiff arm, you know,
Yeah.
another 2 weeks just so I can get the harvest down.
Yeah, build a soil. I mean, taught us a lot of the teas, right? The alfalfa teas, the
Yes,
coconut
sir.
husk teas. You're like, what's all these all about? And your plants are like, well, let me show you.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just amazing.
You mean you didn't know?
Yeah. And these are just sprouted teas, right? Really easy to make. Anybody can be taught how to use these things. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And as long as your soil's like halfway decent, you're not going to fuck it up. You know.
Right.
So
Right. That's something I want to transition to in the shop where we're going to start bringing in is a la carte, where we'll have the base amendments out.
yeah.
You know, we got the base soil, and you make your own blend, like down to earth. You know,
Yep.
you're coming in, you're just grabbing nuts and shit, and doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Right.
Yeah, just like that, where you know, buy whatever you want. You
Yeah.
know, make however you want.
For sure.
It's your canvas.
Pay
Go
by
for
the
it.
volume.
Yeah.
Who's coughing back there?
Smoked dog.
Everybody.
Turn your
coffee.
Yeah,
you
we
guys.
brought in some of our soil the first time, being naive off mainland, you know, just trying to go. This big soil, right? You're talking 130 cubic yards of soil. You're like, you ain't mixing that shit up. Build a soil in your yard. You know, it's just
Yeah,
not
no.
going to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so you're trying to find something in Hawaii, but you can't really figure it out because they make great compost, but a lot of the lower elevation is kind of, you know, depleted from a lot of its
Yeah.
original nutrients from all the, you know, all the obstacles. So, but the cool thing is there's still a lot of cool creatures up in the forests. And
Mm-hmm.
so we had a guy come out here and take make it a compost tea. Yeah, he was
Okay.
collecting critters,
Uh-huh.
and he said he collected 5 times the critters he'd ever collected in Grass Valley.
Huh.
And he did it for 10 years.
No shit,
One
huh?
shot, yeah, and it was amazing.
Up
yeah.
in the mountains.
Yeah, native forest. Yeah, been there for thousands of years. You know,
Ah.
the cattle and stuff couldn't get up there, right?
Right.
So it's still, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, why not harvest it from something that's so symbiotic? You know, everything is just, it's dialed in. It's been dialed in. Fuck, just learn to embrace it.
Yeah. And they've been doing it for a long time, you know. Farmers have been doing this shit for. It's like we're trying to learn it all over again. They're like, no, dude, we were doing this shit during the Depression, motherfucker.
Yeah. We lost a lot of the agricultural mindset for a while.
Yeah.
You ever heard of an almanac, son?
Right?
Oof.
Oh shit. This one feels a lot hotter on my throat.
So the burn's a little bit harsher. Oh, are we doing an impromptu pheno hunt?
I'm definitely a little
kind
more
of like a
stoned,
bit of
that's for
review.
sure.
Yeah, this
That's
one's
got some fritter in it.
heady.
Yeah, like some
I've been
cookie or
feeling
something, right?
that.
Yeah, same
I've
old.
been feeling them in my eyes.
Yeah.
Cookie wrecks me all the time. I mean,
Does it?
anything original cookies, just like, I've definitely had some days where I was having patient days and smoking a little too much with everybody. So back in the day in Pahi, we used to just set up and smoke on Fridays and Saturdays and pass out medicine. As many people could stay as they want. We just sit there and fucking hotbox all day. It was really small. It was like, 20 or 30 people.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, someone would come in like a blunt with some cookies in it. And that's the one that put me down. Like, people are walking on me getting their medicine. They're like, fuck, you're done. I'm like, damn.
Take what you can and leave.
Then you get the one sick guy that goes, that's how I want to feel. I'm like, you are not right. It's like crazy.
I like be like him.
Yeah,
You don't want none of this shit.
exactly.
I don't know. Any other questions? On it, guy.
Hey, I'm curious. Did you play any sports?
Oh, sports, huh? I would say I wasn't a very coordinated kid until I got like older. And then we moved around a lot in the military. So every time you would play sports for one school, you weren't thinking about playing at the next school because they're like, oh, you're the new guy in the block, dude. That shit ain't going to happen here. And this is mainland shit, right? I talk about the humbleness of Hawaii, and you can see it here all the time. You go back to the mainland, it's a very different, not even talking shit,
Right.
system, right? You know what I mean? A lot going on. So where was I going with that?
Playing sports.
Sports. Thank
Sports.
you. See, apple fritter, man. It's always cookies.
Hell
It's
yeah.
like, you're done. I'm like, yeah. I got an interview to do here, motherfucker. Don't make me step it up. I'll step this shit up. You want to go White Widow on me? Let's do this. Sports. So, yeah, no, I mean, I tried to play a little split end, I could catch the ball. But then I moved to Colorado Springs for Virginia. And that's like the whitest place in the fucking world, dude.
No
It
shit,
don't get
huh?
any whiter than Colorado. They were trying to pass homosexual laws in like the 90s, dude. Just
Oh,
freaked out
snap.
bad stuff. Yeah, you know what I mean? So they wouldn't let me play, right? I could catch the ball and split end, but you're not getting laid up in our high school. This ain't going to happen, you know what I mean? So they they're brutal people, brutal. But that was kind of cool. I really didn't give a fuck. Plus, we were smoking weed, too, which was nice. Kind of just like, whatever, motherfucker.
Right.
Parents ain't paying no attention. They're like, there can't be anything wrong at school. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mom, what the fuck,
I know,
man?
you guys paying attention? So, yeah, but I do, I like volleyball,
Nice.
and I try to skill on that. I ain't got the best platform and stuff like that, but I try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a little ups. I'm 6'2". So
I know, man. You got the size, dude.
I'm not jumping. I ain't touching the rim anymore.
Lucky.
But yeah, so I can do some volleyball, a little bit of basketball. Oh, my parents maybe grew up playing baseball, and I hated that shit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I was the worst baseball player ever.
Nice.
Oh, I got the story for you guys. Here it is.
Uh-oh.
8th grade yearbook. Coach Rhodes, I think his name was, in the yearbook wrote, and I will show you motherfuckers this, to the sorriest third baseman I ever met.
Oh, what a dick.
Snap.
Yeah. But I had humor, right? So we were all like Virginia kids, and we all had this sense of humor. And so he did it, and we're just all laughing, right? It wasn't
Right.
you're really like, fuck you. That's
Yeah,
good,
what to say? Like,
Yeah.
secretly, like, find out him and fucking, like, where's he live? All right, I'm going to see you.
But he was right. I mean, that's what me and Mark Harris could fuck shortstop and third base up every time. It was like watching elementary kids play high school baseball. You're like, why can't you guys figure this out?
Right.
What's going on here?
It's not in your DNA.
The play is to first.
When he sees you at the 20-year reunion, he's like, so how'd that fucking shortstop career? How'd that third base career
Third
turn out
base.
for you?
Fuck you, mister.
I still got that shit. If we make another podcast, I'll bring that in, man. You
Yeah?
gotta see this shit. It'll make you laugh your ass off, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you still don't play baseball anymore?
I hated baseball.
Yeah?
Man. Yeah. It's like our parents were making us play it. Dude.
Oh,
I'm just like,
shit.
and you get these weird ass coaches, just like here in Hawaii, right? You're like, you're like, no. I came to play sports and have fun. I can't have a motherfucker yelling at me. This is totally wrong.
Right.
I got rights too up in this motherfucker. I might be 8. I got some
Yeah.
rights. You know,
Your
so-
lips all quivering.
Yeah.
Fuck you, coach. I quit. No, you don't. Oh.
I had a different perspective from it because my dad was always my coach. I played soccer growing up, and every year my dad was the coach of our team. So it was weird.
You couldn't escape it, huh?
Nope.
So you're a ball and soccer player is what you're telling us.
No, not even.
I don't believe it.
Not even.
This guy right here.
What you think?
No, not
No,
even.
yeah.
Like, no,
I grew up with him. He can play soccer.
No, not even. I stopped in like 7th grade. Like,
You used to play with my cousin like all the time, right? He used to play on your
yeah,
team.
and like kindergarten, dude.
Not-
Like, we were the most badass kindergarten K division soccer team in Hawaiian history.
fucking crossing people up.
It was like when everybody just followed the ball like this in a
Yeah.
crowd and ran around, a whole group of little kids just chasing one ball.
I
And
did
then
have
one
to-
kid crying on the side, that was me.
Yeah.
Because my dad was the coach.
Because you wanted water, you couldn't get water.
I had to do a year of AYSO coaching for like 6th graders, North Shore.
Mm.
And they just ended up all playing fucking rugby. I'm like, we're over this dude. Throw the ball to him, run.
Yeah,
Throw it to
yeah,
him, run. You know what I mean? I'm
Hands
like-
are allowed.
I'm
Go
like,
for
you
it.
know, this is the only way it's going down. We ain't winning any games, guys. Have fun. Let's play something different here, you know.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the word on air, but remember playing that one game where you toss the football up and you bunch of your cousins are around, and then
Yeah.
whoever catches
I
the
have-
ball.
You
I
can
know
call
where
that
you're-
out. It's called Spear the Queer. That's
Yeah.
what we grew up with.
Okay,
Like,
cool. I
We
didn't
ain't
want
those
to.
motherfuckers that would do that. But,
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's some bullshit, right? You're
Okay.
like, how did you actually say that all the time when you're in middle school? I'm like, that is retarded. You
It was
know?
the coolest
That word
fucking
too. How
game
could you
ever.
say that?
I know. It was a good game, though, right?
Yeah.
Brutal, though, right?
Oh shit!
I'm out of here.
Wow.
It's the opposite of dodgeball. It's like,
yeah.
oh, fuck.
But it's like it's such a fun game. It's like I fucking struggle with like even mentioning it nowadays. That's like the turn that we've taken.
We're not playing it now. So
Hell yeah!
You're just
And-
referring to
and
a
the
game
safety
in
of
the
our
past.
sanctity, which is the
It's a safe space.
podcast
It's a
dungeon.
safe space. YouTube might not be a safe space, but this is.
Yeah.
No, fuck. My kids started playing soccer and baseball and basketball and stuff. And the coaches, like, at that age are still nice. They're not at the age where they're yelling at them yet. It's like, shit. Keep it up, man. Keep playing. You'll see. Like, your coaches are cool now. Because they just let the kids do whatever. It's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of guiding them. My older is more like they're kind of making him run drills and shit. But my 4-year, he was 4 at the time. He's 5 now. But, like, he just fucking.
Yeah,
just,
dude. We're just running.
Yeah.
It's just to stoke them out.
Yeah.
You know, to make them happy so you can play. You know.
Yeah. Get that medal at the end.
There you go.
I remember my son, he was kind of big for like 5th grade or 4th grade soccer. And he would accidentally mow over some kids and just be so sad. Like he'd just mow over like 2 or 3 kids and they'd hit the ground and he'd just be so sad. He was like, oh shit, what was that? Just mow him over. Big old, he was kind of big.
So I got a question that's a grower related. It's what is your thoughts on microbials? Sorry, microbials like bokashi.
On the mic, please.
Yeah, please. Fist part. Come on.
Sorry,
We know how to do this.
bokashi. So this is them asking you. I was trying to type it, but I just
Yeah.
ended up being a fucking dick. So do you guys use bokashi at your farm?
Yeah, I mean, our farm's too big for bokashi, I believe, but we do it with micronutrients. I mean, making all that shit. We're all really going back to that. I think when you start to grow this big, you kind of got to go nutrients amendments or just top amending amendments
Yep.
and just go for it, right?
Right,
And it's
right.
kind of a sterile soil, right? It really is.
Right.
It's bed soil, yeah. So then you're trying to add something back into it, kind of that's not there. And I think we've seen that if you can handle doing large scale microbes, then you could do it. It's ridiculous.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we dropped some microbes. It was that tea, extract tea. It was like 2 cups in a gallon of 5 buckets.
No
Swish
shit.
it around and pour like 300 milliliters at the bottom of each stem. You know?
Huh.
Yeah, at the base of the plant.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
We had those things in there. We'd water those every day, usually cakeys in little liter pots, right?
Uh-huh.
We put in that fung bacteria, just bomber.
Yes.
We didn't have to water those pots for 4 days.
Yeah. Okay. The
4
mycelia
days.
just
And
retains
this pot's
moisture.
this big. It's like 1 liter pots. It's nothing. And that's where I started to understand micronutrients all over again. We'd always build soil, right? We were making insect frass teas, man. We were doing all that shit.
Right.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of money on some damn teas.
Hell
Insect
yeah.
frass is not cheap when you're making like a 500-gallon tea.
Right,
You're like,
right.
Damn.
You guys ever thought of integrating something cheaper like a KNF or your own extracted nutrients into the farm?
It's a good question, but I'm not really sure. You know what I mean? It's like it's such a large kind of production thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That I think it's hard. I do think you could get away with some really cool foliars. No doubt
Oh,
about that.
yeah,
You know, I mean,
100%.
the KNF foliars are like, everybody knows they're like the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, banana flower, and you're like, it's on, dude.
And there's
So,
a couple
yeah.
things that I like to
Yeah.
focus on in KNF that I've seen like immediate results on. And like EM1's good, but it gets expensive over time, right?
Yeah.
So doing the lactobacillus or LAB overspent milk that you might get at some dairy, or I noticed that if it's a local cow or local cattle, that microbial in the soil
Yeah,
is
that makes sense.
right, because they graze on local grass, and the tips have all those enzymes and all those lactobacillus. So you're basically giving back to its indigenous derivative, right? So
Yeah, I
that's
agree with that.
yeah, that's
And,
something.
labs
that's,
are like the first thing we started making. They just work so great. I mean, it's just
God,
it's just
dude.
how lazy we get. Really, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make one more of those, dude.
It is timely. It is timely. Like it is a process that, and that's another thing that I wanted to. We're gonna have Uncle Daniel them on the next podcast, but using it in a big setting to where you have dialed in results to where you can replicate it, right?
Sure, for sure.
Yeah, compiling data off of a ferment is kind of hard because what is that ferment, right?
Where is it at? Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to know that like that recipe has to be something that has 0 variables that you're gonna
That's the
get.
word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of, when you talk about that, we love to go KNF. I would go like, we used to grow on the ground, hay bales. We used to do all that stuff, right?
Right.
But then you start seeing these, like areas like Mokalia, it's very clay.
Yes.
I could probably start building that soil and go straight to the ground, but it's going to take probably even more soil than I really even need, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's just, it's been grown greens on it for at least the last 30 or 40
Right,
years.
right.
But the soil doesn't look too bad, but it's lack of everything.
And you got to think too, like sea level comes into play, right? So the bedrock under there is probably coral or something of real like low porous. A lot of that salt and that sediment sits there. So if you're gonna do raised beds, you got to really think about what's deeper down below, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another problem that like I have a client over there too. Yeah, that
Salt.
hired me. Yeah, it's like okay, if we're gonna do like Uncle Joey's grow,
Yeah.
he wanted to do the beds, and I'm like, we got to really think about this because what's beneath, right? So the shift of weather too, especially on a downpour, will just create pockets of just this
everywhere, dude.
moisture. Yeah, so
Yeah.
those are things that's like it's really difficult, and I wish people would respect the flour that comes from farms like that, because there's so much more R&D involved in getting a successful crop rather than I got a 12 lighter with a Mills or Athena or
Right.
Advance, and I can now 5 milliliters per gallon and replicate this.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the sun, you're dealing with environment, bugs. Not only that, parasitic nematodes could come and wipe you out. Now you're dealing with your soil.
Yep. Exactly.
So there's much more that goes into the flour than what people would see. So, I hate when people judge like face value flour. Like, oh, it doesn't look like the cookies, guys. Like, yo, oh shit, sit the fuck down. We got to talk, like that kind of shit. I want people to respect what goes into the flour and the intentions to get the flour, yeah.
Yeah, we never really, when we started growing, we were just grabbing shit from all kinds of people. We were getting, I was working with Greenpoint in Colorado, and I just said, well, what do you do on deals and stuff? And he's like, and he got me down to like $20 a pack. And so he'd send me like literally maybe 500, 1,000 packs, just, so I've got so much of his gear in my just all the Star Dog stuff that I have in the fridge just from that is just like, please, someone take this shit and breed with it. I'm never going to pop these seeds, man. It's never going to happen.
Hell yeah,
So I got all these crazy Star Dog mixes, and they're all ridiculous. I don't know how many people like them or not, but
Star Dog's
Star
awesome.
Dog mosses are crazy. I think
Yeah.
there's a little Chem Dog, Greenpoint Madness or something,
Yeah.
reverse the mail or some shit.
I helped Andrew hunt the Puna Creeper from Pakalo in Paradise Matchmakers,
Yeah.
and that had the Star Dog on it, and man, that fucking thing, dude, I could see the
It's a
result.
rocker.
Yeah, man, holy shit, it's amazing.
Yeah. It's like the sour diesel, right?
Yeah.
You could just, in that punch, that sour in there is just like,
Bink.
it's on, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's fun.
You're like, my eyes got cross-eyed. I'm like,
Yeah.
hell yeah, dude, fuck yeah.
Remember one time we had like a wine party, and we probably drank like 5 or 6 bottles of red wine, right?
Uh-huh.
And then everybody just passed out, and I just decided to hit a little sour diesel. And when they woke up in the morning, the house is completely clean. And I'm like, dude, I hit that diesel last night, and I just cleaned this place.
The
like it
drunken
had a
Mr.
problem.
Clean. Is there any other dishes? You're all scrubbing everyone's feet while they're sleeping.
Any other questions?
No, we actually answered one of them with the lactobacillus. Like someone was asking.
Yeah,
us
learn
for
about
their farm.
macros. We could teach you all about macros. It's fun.
Hell yeah,
It's work though. You got to be. Once you commit, you got to commit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's no joke. So it's a lot of work, but it's the rewards from it are just mind-boggling.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all the microbes working on point are.
Oh no.
I mean, we do a lot of soil testing, right? It's just like we just like do Logan Labs like every 2 weeks, kind of get
Nice.
the beds the same, so we only have to test one bed, you know, and everything. And
Yep.
so we just send it to Russ Brandon, and he reads it. And he's like,
That's
"You
what's up.
need bring your callus up, bring this down, and a little bit of and like all the way down to like copper and stuff."
Right.
You're like, whoa! You're like, and like what? A tablespoon of copper in a 27-yard bed.
Micro
Game changer.
nutrients,
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, wow. So it's I like that too. There's so much capacity now that we can share with people, and you don't have to do this on your own and figure
Yeah.
it all out. We did, you know what I mean? We're always looking to share, and testing your soil was the bomb test. That was it, man.
I tell everybody
Game
to do
changer.
that. Hell yeah, because
Game
like
changer.
you
Yeah.
can also like control sourcing at that point.
All
So
your amendments, everything.
right,
Yeah.
you need copper. Okay,
Yeah.
where's the cleanest source of copper that's readily available for my plants that I can get it?
Right.
Boom, right there. So that adds to the integrity of your product, man.
Right.
Fuck yeah. How you doing over there, buddy?
I'm fucking
Fuck yeah.
way too high. I'm like
Yes.
untypically high.
For real?
And I can hear
I'm-
these
for
motherfuckers
real.
and see these guys over there laughing and giggling because their mics are on. I can hear them whispering like and laughing, and they're looking at me and they're making me feel
How does
super
it sound, though?
paranoid,
Does it
dog.
sound good though?
Try to line that
Fuck,
up.
dude.
It
And I'm
sounds
feeling
good.
super high, like in my eyes. So I just feel like
Yeah,
very.
that apple pie, apple cake, or whatever you call it. That was
Directions.
fucking. That was
Yeah.
good.
Different directions. Sour diesel, we're over here punching and sour going that way, and like old school high. Then all of a sudden it's like back to cookies.
Hell yeah.
Gary Payton, we never light that one up yet.
I did want to say you were helping Joe's farm, yeah, and we were just recently inherited some of their flour,
Yeah.
and the pure Kush came out fucking retarded.
It was nice, man.
Everybody's spoken at my farm's been like, dude,
Yeah.
1 or 2 hits, and I'm stoned as shit.
Nice.
So I was stoked for him. Yeah.
Nice.
Stoked for him. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was happy to do that for Uncle Joey. After everything was done, and I was like, they were just kind of like, hey, we need help. He was kind of spearheading everything.
Right.
So I was like, bruh, I got it. Just fucking, let's do it. So I was happy when they actually got the pull down. And I was like, that's what you wanted, Uncle Joey. So we got Uncle Joey what he wanted.
Yeah, for
that was
sure.
the main mission.
For sure.
And hopefully his kids and everything can take away from that. Yeah. So
We
that
hung
was the
hard-
main thing.
We
So-
hung hard with that dude.
Yeah, I
Hung
love
hard.
Uncle Joey,
Great Joey
man.
stories,
He's
man.
fucking awesome.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm a big Joey Diaz fan. So when I first met him, it was at your farm. Gummy Mike brought me there, and I was like sitting down. And I heard him talk. I was like, holy shit, this guy is fucking awesome. I walked up closer to him. And I was like, listening to him just dropping f-bombs and just talking all kinds of shit. I was like, this guy is cool, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we ended up linking up again, but it was
Yeah.
just it was fucking awesome.
Well, even me
after
and
that.
Joe's first, I think I met him at the expo, and I'm always like, stop by, man, grab some plants. I tell everybody that, right?
Right.
And he finally took me up, and he just shows up. He's like, plants at home suck. I'm like, whoa, chill, bro. I got plants here. Yeah. And then
Hell
he's
yeah.
like, well, how much? I'm like, no, dude, take these home, start growing them. And then he just kept hanging, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, just kept hanging.
Oh. Fuck yeah, Uncle Joey.
Seen a lot of weed together. That was fun.
Yeah, dude. He
It's
was
fun.
always stoked. You got to try this new dabs, Kalei. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go, Uncle Joey. He just started coughing. He's like, I'm fucking stoned. I'm like, yeah, man. I'll never forget that shit. He'll come over my house and he'll be talking. We'll just have a good conversation, and he'll just get riled up and into it. He starts fucking dropping F-bombs, and my neighbors all can hear. I'm like, whoa, Uncle Joey, you gotta kind of not yell the fuck word. I love him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fuck word.
He screamed it, dude. So funny. But yeah, man. So I'm glad those guys got a good pool. I'm glad they're happy with it. The main thing is they know, they learn, and
Yeah.
just taught them a nice little bare bones, and they can take it from there.
Yeah. We've been having fun hanging together. We worked out some good
Nice.
deals.
Yeah?
Stoked. They're stoked.
Killer,
Yeah,
dude.
It's so fun.
They're a bunch
dude.
of good dudes.
It's
man.
just ridiculous. It's just so easy. I'm like, oh my god, this is so much fun.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're at first, they're like, oh, I think we'll be okay. I'm like, hey, I'll be honest with you. This is fucking a lot of work, dude. We'll be okay. Boom. And then, hey, they fucking hung tough, man. They did it. They pulled through. They went through all the work. They did it. I was like, fucking, I Told you guys, dude, from the very beginning, this is gonna be a fucking knuckle buster.
We got to restart this now. You know that, right?
Yeah. You ready for the next one? Huh? Yeah.
It's definitely some farming.
It is,
involved.
man. Yeah. And a lot of the curveballs that came along in that way, like they would learn, adjust, adapt, and then it ended up successful. Full confidence this next one's going to be better and better because they got a living soil going, right? So it's pretty much perpetual in the soil. I told them just shoot over whatever questions you got, shoot over any soil testing that you're doing, and we'll work together in mending it. It's easy,
fun.
man.
Yeah.
Easy.
That really, all this, when we started testing again, I don't know why we ever left it. I think we just felt like we had it under control. But when we went back, it was game changer. And that's when we noticed the salt. That's if we had never tested the soil, we'd been like, what's the problem here,
Right.
And then you see all the R2 water come down Waialua, Mokalia, and it's all salty, Right. It's just like, and your beds are like, we'll be having no salt, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And even people don't even think about pipes integrity.
Yep.
A lot of the old pipes leach out material into the water, and that'll throw your test off right there, Yep. I try to keep it weekly slurry tests on the week, so then the following week I kind of know where to take my feeding regimen. Right. Even if I'm just doing living soil, I can kind of see that dang, this bed's kind of gobbling up a lot more. Maybe I gotta up the top feed, and just kind of keep it maintainable. So yeah, it's simple solutions to these problems that people get caught up with. Like, oh shit. Yeah, just take it easy, be fine. Like this guy, you'll be fine. Try again, Eric. I'll give you a clone.
Again. I already closed up shop.
Ah, fuck. How's your plants doing, Anu?
Ship sheet? They are ship sheet.
Yeah.
That's stinky, right?
Do you know how many females you have?
I only have 2. I'm left with 2.
We're gonna pheno hunt Anu's grow.
The baby fetal hunt.
Yes, the itty witty.
So do you make a
pheno.
clone already now, even before the pheno hunt starts? You just make it so you have your ones ready to go.
Before you throw it onto flower, you want to clone it, and then that way you already have a copy.
Well,
We better get on that then.
Yeah, right?
It's already in flower.
Let's tissue culture it. That's okay. You can do it in flower.
Yeah, we could do it with flour.
Man, that shit blew my fucking mind. I couldn't believe taking out things that are systemic and reintroducing genetics that are fresh. I'm gonna dive into that so hard in this next year. Guaranteed gonna fucking pull some shit out of my ass with that, because I have genetics I've been fucking with for 12 years, and I kind of want to see if there's anything in there. I might have cross-contaminated in 12 years. Who knows? Pull it out and see.
There's something in there. That's
Guaranteed,
the problem. It's just all ridiculous.
Yeah. Especially now the clones with the hops coming around, so it's like we got to keep the dudding out.
Disease, yeah.
One guy's like, oh, I had this fucking disease on this plant, and now every one of my plants got the disease. Where could it come from? I'm like, how are you cloning? He's like, oh, an easy cloner. There you go. It's just a fucking Turkish bath of just fucking...
Turkish bath?
Yeah. It's just a cesspool of germs at that point, right? Because everything comes out the same water, right? So that's
polluted the water,
Yeah.
So what would you do? Fucking completely get rid of that system? Is there a way you can clean it and flush that shit out, or?
You can sterilize your system. You can clean out the resi, but the plants itself, if it's systemic, it might be in the plants. So now you got to take it out of the plants.
How do you do that?
Tissue culture. Yeah. When you learn a new trick when you're a kid, a kickflip and shit, you're doing it all the time. Yeah, that's how I feel with tissue culture. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude.
What
I learned something.
Yeah, well, I never learned how to do the kickflip, motherfucker.
Neither I, dude.
Your go-to is tissue culture.
I did a cartwheel.
My fucking plant had spider mites, and then he gave me. What did you give me to spray on it?
Fucking killer sour diesel from the.
No, to get rid of the spider mites.
Oh, Pyganic, yeah.
Yeah, and I did it, and it looked like it was working. I was like, yes.
You stopped.
I stopped.
Yeah, every 3 days.
Well, I was doing that, and then I didn't see any more things crawling around, and I stopped, spraying it, and then one day I was like, fuck, it's back. I was like, god damn it, I quit. It looked like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree.
Aww.
It was sad.
Just ornaments and sticks.
When my son came and saw what real plants look like. Like, this is what it should have looked like, son. Your dad has no idea what he's doing.
So funny.
It's funny, as a cannabis grower, there's a lot of death in our life. We see a lot of plants die that we'll never see again and stuff. And you're just like, whoa, what was that? You know?
But
My Instagram, when I go back, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have let that one go. It's so good.
I can imagine the, like, you know, feeling of reward when you see them all thriving and doing real good and looking nice and walking in there. I'll never have that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fucking pet. Like, I tell people, like, it's like a Tamagotchi, man. Once you get it, you gotta watch it. If not, it's gonna die on you.
It's not as easy as people might lead you to believe.
It's pretty fucking easy, man. Just gotta be on top of it. It's like raising a kid, man. You're not gonna, your kid's gonna tell you when they're fucking thirsty. You know what I mean?
You're going to be keeping busy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. That's the only thing that probably would keep you from attending your plans is like everyday life. You know, getting extra busy.
Work and kids. You gotta pick one. And dogs.
Oh, yeah. I think those dogs are at the bottom of the totem pole, I think, right now.
Nah, they're cool.
Yeah? You made amends with your dogs?
No, I mean, I love them. They're cool, but they are the lowest on the totem pole, I suppose. Like, but they get equal amounts of love. But if we had to start getting rid of things, I hate to say that. What is this now?
This
Gary
one is Gary
Payton.
Payton. Did you guys light up Gary Payton back there?
Jeez.
Nice. Yeah, the last pheno hunt we did the cereal milk, we were here a while, huh? It was like 10.
It was like just under 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just joint after joint. It was awesome.
Found some good ones.
Yeah, dude. So all the data went in 2 phenos. One of them I liked personally, and the other one was like everyone liked, you know. And it was off by 1 point. So the guy who gave me the cereal milk was like, "Bro, the winner that you guys picked was the one I picked." And he doesn't smoke. All he does is grow.
Right.
So it was cool to see like 2 separate entities grow it and pick the exact same phenotype. So I'm
And
like,
he knew what it was.
that's a no-brainer. That won, you know.
That's cool.
That's trippy. Well, the plants don't lie.
They don't, man. That's a fucking cool thing. Dude.
Neither do Shakira's hips.
Whoa.
I don't know why I said that.
How do you know?
Because she had the song, Her Hips Don't Lie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I thought of that.
So how do you know this?
Any other questions? Anu. Yeah. No, I know there was some. Like,
No, I think that was Drew that just fired off like 8 questions.
oh yeah, the DMT
Yeah.
rant
I had to
one.
ask the,
Yeah,
I had to
yeah,
ask
yeah.
the DMT one.
Have you ever done DMT?
I haven't.
You haven't, me either.
I'm afraid of that one, man.
And there's no really reason for us to be afraid, I don't think. But
Yeah.
we're
I don't
just
think
like,
so.
I'm going to tell you I'm afraid. Fuck it.
Yeah.
My friend's like, it's a time bender. I'm like, damn, why'd you fucking tell me that? I don't be stuck in Inception for like 20 years. I'm like, dude, that was 5 seconds.
Have there been any like negative stories like that where people like don't come out okay on the other side?
No, I haven't heard one.
Me either.
Yeah, it's always overwhelmingly good.
Yeah, and
But I'm
it's,
still chicken shit.
yeah, and the fact that it's quicker than like, you know,
Yeah.
an 8
People
hour
like ayahuasca and all you do is vomit. You
and
know what I mean?
shit
It's
for
like,
8 hours.
Fuck, dude. Are you sure this is worth it?
I think like medium dosing mushrooms is like more my speed.
Yeah.
That's fun, man.
Yeah.
Because that's just a fun little buzz, you know, and
Mhm.
you know, you don't have to even. That's what people don't understand about a lot of the mushrooms and stuff now. It's all changing so much, you know.
Right.
It's being used for medicine. It's like building bridges in people that are like totally stressed, you know.
Mhm.
So it's really cool with the psilocybin, right? Psilocybin is going on. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost funny. I can't believe it, to be honest with you, that we see cannabis legalized, and then in Denver they're like, "We're gonna do fucking mushrooms too," and you're like,
Fuck
"No, you're not." They're
yeah.
like, "Yeah, we are. Watch this."
Watch.
I'm like, "What
hold
the
my
fuck?
beer.
Hold my bong. Hold my bong while I go legalize.
Legalized,
mushrooms.
just like that."
Didn't South Park have a Integrity Farms episode where they're like, well, cocaine's illegal, and Randy Marsh is like, well, and he makes a whole lobby on fucking
Make
legalizing
coke legal.
cocaine.
Well,
South Park.
it's I think like even growing up, there was like this, in my mind, anyways. thinking like when you did mushrooms, you had to like everybody like blast it off.
You had to macro.
There was no like concept of microdosing mushrooms. You know what I mean? Like in the 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, and you're also eating it out of cow shit too. You know what I mean?
They weren't in delicious chocolates.
I just remember the first time I tried them, I was fucking Mars and beyond, man. I didn't know where the hell I was anymore. I was like, holy shit. It was crazy. It was so strong, you know? But luckily, it was just like this good journey and not something freaky, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. I remember swimming one time on mushrooms.
Oh.
And I'm sitting in a pool. I'm like, wow, this is weird. It feels like gelatin or something like that. And I'm not drowning.
Right.
I'm not drowning, you know? You're like,
your instincts are just taking over. Like, how is this happening? I'm so buoyant right now.
everything's safe here. The body's got this way under control. He's like, I know how to swim, dude. I might be psilocybin, but I know how to swim.
Yeah.
It's like feeling like in your womb again, like just water.
It's crazy, man.
I remember like I ate a bunch of shout out to Professor P.
Again.
Giving me the fucking azure mushrooms, these small little gray ones, and he's like, "Yo, watch out with those." I'm like, "Man, fuck them." You know, no one's home. It was just me and my dog, and fucking cruising, watching cartoons. So I'm like, "Fuck, this is a perfect time to take them." I fucking ate them, and I ate what would be a fucking microdose, right? Maybe like a little less than a gram of them, but like I remember him playing like, "Dude, fucking be careful." And I was outside fucking with my dog.
Danger, Will Rogers.
Yeah. I was like, fucking, she was taking a piss, and I was like, holy shit. Everything started getting bright and started changing and melting. I was like, get in the house now. Just yelling for my dog, get in the house. Like, it's coming. I need to get in a safe spot. Like, dude, sat on my fucking couch and just started melting. And I had popcorn ceiling, and like just seeing the popcorn ceiling and all its texture, it was just fucking unreal. It's awesome.
Yeah.
For me, it's mostly the lights. It's like everything gets brighter. Probably your pupils are dilated as fuck, right?
Probably. Yeah. I've never looked at myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Super tripped out. I want to do it. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more like looking at your friend and you're going, dude, your pupils are bigger than the whites of your eyes. What's going on here?
No.
That's where we are.
Demon boy?
Oh.
Yeah, mushrooms are fucking fun, man. And there's still some like hesitation to it too. Like if I'm like, here, here's an eighth. I know you're gonna be fine, but you're like, I don't know about that.
No, yeah, it's still like I feel like it should be respected and not just taken like just flippantly, like with total disregard. I mean, microdosing, you can like do it and go about your day. It's not like that, but like if you're gonna be taking a little more than a gram or whatever, you should probably like be ready and like at least
clear your schedule a little bit. Yeah.
We left the microdosing airport.
Yeah.
Make sure all your responsibilities are taken care of.
You're on the tripping plane now.
Bro,
here we go.
I took a flight, just a neighbor island flight, and I ate a bunch of gummies, and I was like, holy fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I'm sitting down in my fucking chair like, oh, dude, I want to do something and get up.
Yeah.
But I can't. I'm like, I don't want her to know. Oh, shit. Please don't fucking look at me. She's looking at me. Oh, I'm looking out the window real quick, like pretending I'm sleeping with my legs bouncing. Like, fuck.
I can't imagine being stuck on a plane.
It was
on
like
mushrooms.
It was when I look back on it, like it was such a fucking like it could have been a movie, you know. Like,
was that edibles or mushrooms?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it was quite a bit too. Like it was a macro at that time, and like I look back and I'm like, oh fuck, that could have been like an actual short film of like Kalei freaking out on the fucking plane.
Could have went sideways
and not even being noticed.
Right.
If the lady next to you started freaking out because she thought you were freaking out.
That's what was in my head. Like,
sideways.
oh, she's going to fucking know I'm on mushrooms. And she's a conservative, really afraid of mushrooms and people on drugs. She's going to scream on top of her lungs, like, get away from me. You're high. And I'm going to get tackled by the fucking marshal on the plane. Yeah, and there goes Kalei's future. Just because that dumbass wanted to fucking eat mushrooms before he jumped on a plane.
Luckily, it was Neighbor Island, only so short.
It was like a 20-minute flight, dude. It felt like 4 hours.
I couldn't even imagine walking to the airport or any of that stuff. Like,
dude, went through check-in, like no big deal. Thought I was the shit. Fucking get on the plane. I'm like, oh, dude, fuck. That was bad. Oh.
That's not good.
Seems like it was under control. I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, I was in my head so bad. I'm like, oh my God, come with some peanuts or something to eat, get my mind off of the shit. And it's like, they give you that one water. Like, oh fuck, this is Neighbor Island. We're going to be landing soon. It was awesome. It was awesome.
You mean like that shit?
Let's do it, son. Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. Curious about where that name comes from.
I don't know. Anu?
Gary Payton.
Yeah, like, but I mean, why they chose to name it Gary Payton, and what does Gary Payton have to do with it?
Might have to ask another Gary.
Probably paying the bills, I imagine.
He said, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll give you money, name
Yeah.
it after me.
We'll grow some weed together, but I am a national basketball player. You know what I mean?
But in this
Put me
day
on
and
the
age,
front of your Mylar, just give me some royalties.
but in this day and age, people are like fucking putting their celebrity names on
yeah.
strains.
Dude, they
And
have Chris Webber. I saw at the cookies.
Joey Diaz has his own fucking Coco Diaz fucking strain of weed.
I want it
Ice cream.
now.
It's at the ice cream shop. Is that I don't know if it's in California. It might be.
If anybody out there, please, someone that listens, get me that. Please.
fucking
I will be
Coco.
your friend forever.
The cocoa.
I won't even open it.
Just just give me the fuck. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, a lot of celebrity weeds.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Urkel had his own
Get the
purple Urkel fucking
fuck
strain.
outta here.
Yup.
Wait, is that because of that?
Yeah. No. What do you mean because of that?
No, Purple Urkel, the strain. Was it
No,
because
no,
of
no,
Urkel?
no.
Oh, I'm saying,
no.
what the
Well, I think it was named
fuck?
after Urkel, right? It had to. What other
Who
Urkels
else
is there?
do you know that's Urkel?
No,
you know?
yeah, but like, yeah. Yes to your question, but what I'm talking about is like, more recently, he has ventured into the weed game and has a strain called like a Purple Urkel, whatever the fuck.
done
Like,
sold
he
out.
leaned into the name, yeah.
Steve
Everybody
Urkel
does,
sold
though.
out.
Why not, right? Especially if
I
you're
mean,
like,
if you're getting free Purple Oracle for the rest of your life, me and you are cool. I get it. That's
Dude,
fine.
call it Carl Winslow for all I give a fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
that's a
smoking-
fucking better name.
I like that,
I'm
dude.
good on that, Gary.
The
Payton.
DC, do you see that one there? DC, Daniel Cormier. They put him as fucking.
Oh, he looks like him.
He looks like
He
him.
does. Oh, that
So
tastes good.
Yeah, dude.
That's nice.
I just chopped this down yesterday too.
Swoosh.
On my, house
Man.
grow. The structure is unbelievable, man.
I just had to pass
Gary.
that on the unbelieveness of stoned I am right now.
Yes.
Yeah. I pushed Peyton out of the house. I haven't even smoking that
You're
yet.
boxing him out.
I boxed Peyton out. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bro, you got to move along a little bit.
Yeah. Get out of my
Stay out of the
paint,
paint.
Peyton. Get out of my paint.
Not
Still
in
working
my
on-
house.
We're still working on cherry here. Cherry fritter or whatever the hell.
Shout out, Uncle Harry.
Uncle Harry.
I am super stoned, but there's a rule in this house that if the guru rolls it, I gotta smoke it.
Whoa. Where'd that rule come from?
What do you?
I thought that was the rule too.
I have
Yeah.
a feeling
Yeah.
there's gonna be a clip.
There's like, yeah, dude. What the fuck?
We're gonna do a nostalgic clip going back. If you roll it, I'll smoke
Be sure to
it.
remember. Write this timestamp down, Anu. Note this.
On it. It's moving very slow now.
You know, I don't smoke a ton, like just every once in a while, just chilling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew coming over here, I'm like, you're smoking with Kalei, right? You just might as well just get ready with that one.
Yeah. You gotta train.
Stretch before you walk in these doors. Ugh.
No.
Not happen. So just
Dolph Lundgren just went in my head. It's like, if you roll it, you must smoke it.
smoking.
Yeah. I like made that imparted that rule upon myself, like nobody else but me.
Yeah. You
So I-
impose that will on yourself, like that rule on yourself. Like,
Yeah. But I've stuck to it.
you did good, man.
Yeah. It's discipline.
Proud of you. You come a long way, man.
Yep. Thanks. Thank you.
I'm catching all these shots. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
You better be. Sorry, I'm way too high for this.
No, we're not. We did the 3 paper fatty.
No, what?
We got to start bringing that back.
Nah, it's just honestly, I never had any energy drinks today until like just now when I got here. So I've been like sleepy all fucking day.
You
And,
should
like,
break yourself free of that.
I was gonna make some tea when I got home, but I tried to just turn around as quick
definitely-
as possible.
Need a 3 paper this guy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put this out then.
I'm gonna be honest and say cherry fritter just kind of chilled me the fuck out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was a nice
Yeah,
little
yeah.
hazy feeling, man.
yeah.
It sucked it to me for a while. I feel like I've
You bounced
Got in
back.
my- yeah.
Your eyes have gotten more circular. these past
It was
10
like
minutes.
really like feeling like there's pressure and it was like squeezing them closed. Almost to the point it was starting to like feel like a headache. Like, oh damn, this is like really like coming on.
That made that
Yeah.
shirt justified. Like your look, like Wu-Tang for life.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Wu-Tang.
I mean, for me, like cherry fritter or whatever it is, if I was going to smoke like that, I'd be kind of smoking it later on, or
Yes.
I wouldn't hit it like in the middle of the day, like well, evening time. You know what I
We
mean?
got shit to do.
'Cause it's heavy. You're like, my head's heavy here. Okay, it's time to sleep. Here we go. You know what I mean? But you're
What-
still trying to like keep it together. You're like, well, let's have a conversation. No, I said it's time to sleep.
Yeah.
Here we go. You know what I mean? That's the fritter. You know what I mean?
Have a super complex conversation. Like, no, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm so fucking big. This undisclosed strain is nice. This has nice structure on it.
So what is this?
This is an undisclosed strain we cannot talk about. We can just appreciate.
Yeah.
Beep. Nice.
I could plug the grow off real quick. Want a
Yes,
grow off
please
plug?
do that. Yeah, let's do that while
Is
we
that a
explain.
thing? What is that
Yeah.
a thing? Because that's what was on the bag. Grow off.
Yes.
Yeah, so the grow off is kind of this couple that brought together people just kind of trying to get someone to find a breeder to give everybody a clone, and everybody grows it, right? So they pass out all these clones at an event, you know what I mean? And then everybody grows it, and then they come back and do a high THC, high terpene test. You know, it's all, we really know none of that means anything, but really we're just looking for the most beautiful, best bud in the bunch, you know what I mean? We all know it's got all that capacity, so. And so they've been doing it for a little while. And they've come over here a couple of times, and for me, it was just trying to do something to get people together, you know, which kind of came long after because we're already doing it now. So we've been having these parties and these get-togethers, and it's just been a lot of people hanging out, which has been super fun. But so that's when our next event's July 9th. We're going to hand out these particular clones of this sample I'm giving you to the grow-off people. So yeah. We're not sure how many people there's going to be. We got like probably.
So everybody takes a clone,
Yeah.
grows it, comes back, and
Yeah.
what is there like criteria like as far as like you're not really judging, you're just kind of like sharing again, right? Because it's not.
It's all
in this-
testing. It's basically, they take the sample, send it in, and it's basically high terpene, high THC, and you get an award
Who's
for
pulling the numbers out
it.
of
Yeah,
here?
so you don't even
Gotcha.
really.
Oh, so there
need-
is an award. There's an award
Yeah.
for it. I got
yeah,
you.
Yeah,
got you.
but it's just honestly, it's just like these podcasts, just bringing people together. Is what
Right,
it's all
right.
about. It's just
100%.
ridiculous, man. It's like here we go.
Mm-hmm.
No, we really aren't running a contest, but we're hanging out, smoking a lot of weed with a lot of cool people, you know, and,
Right.
and that's where it takes you. So we're excited. Our next event's going to be at the farm on July 9th. I know you guys will be there.
Yes.
It's friendly
And then we're going to
competition.
hand out the plants there for that, the grow off for Hawaii. It's just something fun, you know.
Are you gonna be there?
July 9th is a what? Saturday? What is that? A Sunday?
Saturday, yeah. That's
Saturday?
He'll be
yeah,
there.
yeah.
He'll be there. He
That's
has a-
far enough out that I can like try to make
That's
sure.
the only
I can
day
be
we
there.
have.
Mother
Saturday.
trucker, I'm gonna be driving. You're gonna be carpooling with me, right?
Oh, like what? I guess if that's what
See,
you're saying.
You heard it. You got
We had
5
fun.
people as
I
witnesses
got
on
0 on here. I'm just gonna turn this off already.
here. No, we got 5 people. Bear witness.
What is this? Can I share this? No.
Our last event was 450 people, and it was just,
That's a cool one.
it was ridiculous. You
Yeah.
know, just
And
everybody
there's
was
like
just smoking.
vendor. Are there booths and shit, or is it
We
just
had
kind of
food
like
vendor.
a big?
We threw it together pretty fast and furious. We were just trying to get people together, and we didn't really know if we were going to do it, enough or the right way. So we got quite a few food vendors. Probably had like 10 or 15 vendors there. I think they all
Bands.
sold out though. Yeah. It went really
Music.
quick.
You guys
yeah.
had music and shit.
We had music. Yeah. Eye Soldiers
Some
and
bomb-ass music
Yeah,
you guys
ridiculous.
had,
Little
bro.
Legal Jordy showed up. Stupid, silly. 4 ounce in charge of my ass, motherfucker. Love you to death. He's the man. He used
He
to come
is.
gig at our place just for nothing. He just set up a little speaker and gig like 2 or 3 times at our farm, and it was
That's cool.
so beautiful. It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Backyard styly.
He's the man. We know where he's at.
That's how you should do it. Backyard, fucking rootsy.
Yeah.
Give back to the people that's contributing to the greater
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I think that's what it'll end up. It's just almost,
He takes care of Brian. He throws it down on the sets too, and like, Innovision was there.
Yeah.
We had the setup, dude.
Yeah. We're sponsoring a little Innovision and Marlon Ash.
Yes.
We're going to do a little bit of that. That's going to be fun. Kind of get those guys a little,
I think OGS
little
gonna have a
noise going
booth
on
up
the-
there, man.
yeah. Get a little noise on the radio. Let everybody know about the concert and stuff.
What candy does this remind you of? I can't put my finger on it.
That's
But
good.
it's a candy that I used to eat as a kid.
Gary Payton might be interfering with you on that one.
No, this
Running-
one.
He's running interference right now.
No interference, no technical foul, bro. No automatic first down.
the first thing that came to my mind was those fucking rice paper, those orange ones with the rice paper on top.
Fucking high love.
Was it?
What's it
Let me
called?
see that if I was that.
Tomoe.
What part? What tomoe?
Tomoe is Japanese, the one that came with like stickers or a tattoo. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But like on second sniff, like I started like
It's got
judging
that
myself.
fucking- it's a cheap candy though.
That was cheap. It was like
Yes.
fucking 24, 48 cents maybe.
Okay,
It
yeah.
came in a box, and it was kind of a reddish pink color, and it was
Yes.
wrapped in
The tomoe phenotype.
rice paper that you could just eat the paper, right, and it melted. Is that close? I don't know. Am I right or wrong? Did I get
You're
it?
Fucking correct. Spot on. That's what I would have said.
But I was trying to guess what you were
Fuck.
thinking. Did
That
I hit?
was like right on.
Did I help
like-
you guide your hand and
shit.
finger on it?
Yeah.
But it shows you that both of you guys have been in that your whole life, right?
That's a
It's like,
Hawaii
that's a
candy.
Hawaii thing,
Right,
man. I mean,
right.
you know, that's kind of what's special about this place, man.
Fuck yeah.
It's badass like that. It's a really beautiful place.
People can just use the like pog as a descriptive, and people are like, oh, I know
Dude,
what
I just
that
saw that
is.
walking up the road. I saw a Minute Maid dog, and I'm like, I almost got to stop and take a picture of that,
Hell
motherfuckers.
yeah.
That's ridiculous, you know.
That's an icon, man.
Super
like
fun,
you see the
yeah.
pog, you know exactly. Pouch and
Ridiculous.
orange,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like white rabbit candy is like a
Yeah.
Hawaii thing.
There's a lot of sugar up in that joint.
Hell yeah, it's like oh. You better not have.
You have a good dental program. You're gonna be taking down POG for the rest of your life.
You helping out those dentists.
Sweets, eat it, yeah.
Yes.
What else is there like Hawaii that's like unique to Hawaii? Because other than like
As food goes,
yeah, like candies
snacks?
and shit, like
Shit. I don't know. Anybody?
like lihimoi everything.
Oh yeah, there's a crack seed and all that stuff.
Motherfucking Musubi.
Musubi.
What up?
Ooh,
That's nowhere I've ever been.
that's my shit, man.
and that
So
shit's
good.
everywhere out here.
I know
No
a guy
joke.
from England who was
No
a fan of Spam because they used to eat it in England. It was like remnants from the wartime shit, and
Yeah.
like it's like yeah, I like Spam. It's like,
Brother.
yeah, like England and Hawaii, they kind of have a lot of like kinship things. I don't know. It's just like the king liked fucking
Had
the
to
United
go.
Kingdom and shit.
Had to go traveling.
There was a friendship there in the early stages because of that, right? Not so much friendship, but like a coexistence.
Nah, I think yeah, like monarch to monarch, they probably
Yeah.
respected each other, and they probably liked Kalakau.
Easy
You know what I
enough.
mean? Yeah, they probably liked Kalakau. He was probably cool as fuck.
Do we have any more big crutches? Ooh, we have the glass one, huh?
Yum.
Glass big boy right there.
How you gonna do that? 4 papers?
3.
Oh, jeez.
Sure to work out just fine.
Oh, it's gonna be like spliff kind, yeah.
Yeah. But the glass tip, I kind of like give it the old.
Look how he grabs that shit like a fucking 8-pan. Fucking gorilla grip.
Okay, I gotta put this mic on the side real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Oh shit.
Love it.
So you grew this?
We grew this, yeah. Yep. We grew this.
Right on.
Yeah, so these are clones we're going to give everybody, and someone gave them to us. Well, someone gave us the seeds. It was really special, and then we just popped some plants out of it and found some really quick phenos super fast. I mean, like, literally, we planted like 20 seeds, and within the first 10, they were already all keepers of some form. You know, they were just, like, ridiculous, you know? Even though you had stuff that was more calyxy and longer, and then some of it was a little tighter, it all had this blueberry cheese thing going on. And I don't even mean to say cheese maybe because that's more of a newer smell, but it's definitely blueberry something, you know, from back in the day. You can just tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That blueberry flavor in things is really strong. Like when you get it, it's like
Yeah.
it tastes like those blunt wraps. Like holy shit.
Yeah, you know you're about to get fucked up
Yeah,
too.
how-
Goddamn blueberries. Always the real blueberry's so strong, man. I remember we went up to Vancouver.
DJ Short blueberry.
Yeah, dude. Ridiculous. We went up to Vancouver up there one time to do something, going hiking or something. And it was at the time where kind of things weren't good. They weren't doing weed, stores weren't open and stuff, you know what I mean? Like they don't totally shut it down. Like Mark Emery got arrested and shit. Remember all that bullshit? Yeah, I think that's Bush, right? Bush days, some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we went up there, but we found a little pawn shop and went in, and they were like, "Yeah, we got some flower for you." And they go, "Here's the blueberry." I'm like, "Uh-oh, here we go." And I tell you what, man, that thing, we rolled that up and started walking down the street when we left that place. And we were stoned, man. I mean, just hands down, so quick. I was like, wow. Is that hash or something? What the hell was going on with that shit, dude? A little warning on that one, you know?
Someone should have told me, where's the bud tender? I want to talk to him.
I got some questions for you, sir.
Yeah.
You motherfucker, you just reach across the car.
Then your subconscious goes, you told yourself it was blueberry. What's the problem here?
What part of blueberry didn't you understand? Oh, shit. Tap, tap, tap.
Pack it in
I
nicely.
didn't know what to do with that thing.
I was going to look for those other questions. There was some other ones.
I got to
right?
get back to Waialua tonight, man.
Yeah, right. We have a nice comfy couch right there. It's so awesome.
Shit.
Oh, what are some cool pot breeders that you what the fuck does this say? Who are some cool pot breeders you dig?
We got that.
All right. What pot celebrities have you had the chance to meet? That's also from Drew.
I don't, you know.
Pot celebrities, what a term, yeah. Like who, Willie Nelson? What the fuck?
Snoop.
The first one was breeders, right? Seeds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think you'll search high and low when you start if you don't know what you're doing and you go through a lot of people, right? But then you start meeting people kind of in person or who's smoking their strains, and then it changes really quick. And that's when you get to really, like, start picking people where you're like, oh, that's coming from him, and I know it is. You know what I mean? Like all of Gold Coast Genetic stuff, you know, Flavor Dave. I mean, he's just so entrapped with chem dog everywhere. You just cannot get a good seed from him and just not be like, okay, well, it might have done grown small or something, but what the fuck was that, dude? That was Chem Lemon Fire, and that shit just ripped me a new asshole, you know? Yeah. So
He had one called skunk oil I ran.
yeah, dude, how would that
That
come
was
out?
fucking good, man. I was like, oh my God. But my dumbass fucking didn't clone it. Well, I did clone it, but the tag fell in the easy cloner. So I have like little tags, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes if you don't secure them just right, they'll slide through the easy cloner and into the reservoir.
Oh.
So when I went to the reservoir, I lost, like, I was like, oh, what is that? Oh, fuck. And then I just lost it. If I don't know what it is, I won't keep it because I don't want to put something out there, you know?
That you
The
can't
easy cloner
identify.
can get you really quick.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I hate using them, but man, they work good. But it's like if your power runs out, it's game over, man.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
100%.
game over. Yeah.
You got to have a really reliable power
Yeah.
source if you're going to run that guy.
Is there a hard cloner way to do it that's more reliable?
Yeah, like domes. They do like a little mini greenhouse with some cocoa sponges almost. It's like prehydrated.
Mm.
Just stick the little cutting in there with some rooting hormone.
And you make like a terrarium.
Yep, you hold the moisture in because it's now feeding from the leaves or drinking from the leaves because there's no root established. Then when the hormones kick in, it'll shit out the roots and then it'll be independent.
I feel like cloning's very easy to teach.
Yeah.
Maybe not too intuitive if you've never done it before, but it's really easy to teach. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, this.
The process is super easy to replicate.
Yeah.
Understanding, like troubleshooting it, like, oh, what the fuck? How come I'm not getting it?
Yeah.
That's a little bit more intricate. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I ran into one problem. Like, dude, every clone turned into fucking asparagus. The water's cold. I sterilized everything.
Right.
Then they come to find out, neoprene holds the most bacteria ever.
The neoprene was doing it.
Yeah. So the
And
neoprene
you're like, what
collars.
the fuck was that, dude?
Dude, I was soaking
Y'all could have
them.
told me about that.
Yeah. So I was like, fuck. And as soon as I bought new
I cleaned that
neoprene,
tub 100 times.
yeah, 100% cloning. As soon as I got new neoprenes.
Yeah. Wow, that's intense.
Yeah. So
Interesting. Good to know.
pathogens are a big thing.
Good to know. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you would think maybe you could clean something like that, maybe even in xeritol and stuff, but maybe you won't get it all because of the cracks.
That's
Hide in the
exactly what it
cracks.
is.
Yeah,
All that little pores inside the neoprene just fester all
Yeah.
that bacteria.
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's nice with that glass filter.
Yeah, it's more rigid, yeah.
Yeah. And the other question was, any pot celebrities you've got?
Oh,
some
pot
chance to?
celebrities. Huh.
The guru.
I think whatever. I think you guys had Anthony Robo Johnson there. You guys had was it CNN did a little piece on you guys?
Yeah, we had
Oh,
some.
really?
We had some what was it, Today Show or some shit like
Oh,
that.
Today Show?
Yeah,
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it was a little 5.
Hell yeah.
Motherfucking Waialua.
Is that something people can find online?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's dope, dude.
Google Care Waialua.
Yeah, we got the Oahu Small Farm Alliance thing too on the website. What is that? Oahu Cannabis Farms Alliance. Yeah, just kind of Google search that. You'll find it really easy.
Right.
I noticed that, like, especially with some of the guests we bring on, there's a clean divide of collectives, dispensary. And I see that, and I see two points of everything. It's like, at what point in time does both parties merge, you know, or like find common ground to coexistence, you know? That, like, I sit up late at night thinking about that shit. Like, I wonder when and if, and even if it's possible that we merge this, you know, one crack.
I mean, my thoughts are, you know, sorry, one fist. My thoughts are, you know, dispensaries went into it knowing kind of sort of what they're getting into, right? And if they didn't do the math and the math right and say, hey, this costs this to make this, if they didn't even go in thinking about that and they're already like, we're going to make some money, you know what I mean? That's where it becomes problematic, you know? And honestly, I mean, I've tried to talk to dispensaries, many of them just trying to sit down and talk to people. And I'm like, look, man, we can show you the economical model, how it works.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It benefits you and benefits everybody else, and it's really cool. You know what I mean? But you can't even, most of them, not all, but most of them are such businessmen, they don't even, not really listening, right? They don't have anything to do with cannabis. We're just moving A to B.
Yes.
What I can do for the state, I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, in all fairness, I wouldn't say it's all their fault, but I mean, if you went into it, if I was going into it, I'd have to have like 10 or 20 million.
Yeah.
We're already there, right? Because you know the first 5 years, we're not even going legalizations. You're going to be paying for all those 5 years no matter what, and sucking it up and giving patients good meds. It's too easy, right? You just build the budget in, because when it goes legal, it's like, oh, shit.
Get your thumb in your ass and
Damn.
just chill it.
We just made $10 trillion in 1 month? What was that? You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That shit's all sitting on the fucking table right there, you know? I think, you know, with the dispensaries and like how you mentioned the tiered systems, there's a way to find common ground where the market still holds value, and we can fucking, you know, everybody gets a piece of it, you know. I'm sure we could figure this shit out in this day and age. We're smart enough. If not, give us room to operate on both, you know, like shit. I'm sure the dispensaries, their price points and their overheads, you know, they kind of go hand in hand.
Sure.
They have a high overhead, so naturally their prices have to be higher. Give the people some options, you know what I mean? My main thing is
at least find some cheaper medicine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going to do high end and that's what you're all about, at least find a tier of medicine that can get people in there and get them medicine.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And a lot of it's the state's
pretty easy
regulatory, right?
Yeah.
To get into dispensaries.
Yeah.
And I think that's their main arguing factor is like, well, fuck, we got to go through all this stringent tests.
Sure.
And, you know, a farm doesn't have to.
Right.
So I think that's where they're bitching and moaning about. And I can kind of see it, but at the same time, like you said, it had to be factored in. Yeah. And
I mean, there's no long range. I mean, whoever built the business model for these motherfuckers, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that? You know what I mean? If you had any cannabis experience and someone building that model for you, they would show you how to set that all up. Right. There was so much happening in the United States already from models. You know what I mean? You didn't have to make your own shit up. You know what I mean? So, you know, they just, like I said, they would have had a lot of money up front, but they're already going in. So I'm like, just go in big, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then that way you can subsidize your prices because you're not making money, but you can still get it down to like 200 an ounce or 250 an ounce. You know
Got you.
So you suck it up the first 5. Compassion, whether you know what it is or not.
Right.
And then legalization kicks in and you're thought well of, you gave people good medicine, and now you're just raking it with the recreational tourism too. You know, it's done.
That's another thing.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. That tourism.
That's why we got to be supplying them our weed. Let's get this on.
Let's get it on, man. You know, people like me who like, I don't got a big farm. You know, like I do a small scale grow. That way I can pay attention. That is good news to me because it may not be my prime source of income, but it's good side work.
Right.
You know, someone that a talented dude. Let's say Eric's growing fucking the killer, straight clean purple Urkel, no bugs,
No
just
bugs.
super clean, just fucking, and he kills it. And you know he's marketed nicely. People want his product.
Sure.
Fucking, he puts it out. You know, and even if that's just a small grow, but he creates a demand for his product.
Yep.
Why not, dude? Let's fucking let that go. Right.
Right. Should be the same all across the board. Just let everybody go.
Yeah.
I agree with that
How you feel
sentiment.
about that, Anu? You and your plants, huh?
Just let everybody go. Just let everybody grow. You never seen the Lorax? Let it grow.
I want to smoke some of Turtle Dove's flowers.
Oh, we gotta do that.
Well, I'm still
when-
working on this big old bat you rolled up over here,
Yeah.
so let's settle down.
That has a nice fucking earthy taste with a gas to it.
Tastes really
What do you
good.
think?
Right in the head,
Interesting,
man.
huh?
Yeah.
I'm surprised how not hot it is compared to that last one. You know what I'm saying? That last
That's-
joint was like really like, oh,
And that's fresh too, man. So it's
That's
pretty. It's
hit
only like
right
a
in
couple weeks out of the.
Fuck, dude.
It's ridiculous, and that's why I'm
That's
saying.
the
That's why I
key.
think it's an older thing. You know, I think it's like it's evolved like that. It can handle these stressors and still just like put out. You know.
yo, I gotta give the guy some of this shit.
Yeah. I got some licorice in there. Definitely some licorice. That was nice. Super heavy on the eyes. I feel this one on the eyes mostly. Like,
They look like those guys look
So,
like they're still
there's
on
a
the
story,
strawberry
right?
fritter.
So I gave this tester flower to some friends, rolled
Yeah.
some joints up for him, and this one guy he's smoked dog, no doubt about it. And he comes back and he's like, "Man, I had to put that thing down." I was kind of like, you know,
yeah.
shit took off. And I'm like, yeah, I think that's that old, those Afghani lines, right? The Mercy and the Pining are just freaking destroyers, dude. I mean, that's why.
And the combination, that sweet storm, you know, like
Yeah.
you got the THC, you got the terpenes in it, and a lot of that. And this is another thing that's interesting about like crossbreeding, right? Those terpene combinations are lost forever.
Right.
Yeah, you add in another genetic profile to what you're working with. That uniqueness of that is
Gone.
now lost,
Yep.
dude. So that's an important thing, and bringing it back to the old school, like this, nostalgic, 100%.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the way this plant spreads, there's got to be somebody somewhere who feels the same way and saved it, and
100%.
right? You know
No
what I
doubt
mean?
about it.
Other people doing genetics, you just gotta wait till they reveal themselves.
Like heirlooms, dude.
Heirloom.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to form an heirloom. It's just someone holding on to strain generations.
The Northern California growers are good at that.
Fuck yeah,
Those
man.
motherfuckers can
That
forage
707
some
headband.
shit for a long time, dude. Yeah. I got a hold of some Royal Sour Seeds, and I don't know a ton about it, but I know it was like Mendelbrot was a guy that passed away and had these killer. It's like a Royal Kush, I think, or something. What is the Royal Sour?
shit.
Yeah, old Afghani kind of high hash producing plant. you
Yeah,
know?
buddy.
Yeah. She's an R&D. She hasn't quite made it out yet, but I did grow her once, and it was very diesely calyxy, really fun high,
I like that.
really fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
telling you, sour diesel is gonna make a comeback.
Yeah.
I think the age of purple weed is gonna come to a halt.
It's funny you say that because at our farm, you know, we got a lot of people, so we just going through some shit, you know what I mean? So sometimes when you see a good sour diesel come through, you're like, oh, I don't even know if I want to share this with the
Yeah.
patients.
Yep. I was harvesting my plants. I'm like, your head stash. I'm like, fuck.
But
No,
you
no,
do,
no.
you
These
do.
are your plants. These ones.
Yeah, you
How
do,
much
though,
is
you
your
do.
mortgage really worth?
Fuck. How many different strains are you like growing at a time? Do you
That's
you,
Yeah, I'd say
Wow, man.
we're probably, we've probably got, it's bad. We like 40 or 50 still. It's not very good. Yeah.
a lot.
I mean, we're getting better at doing the ones we like. We're not doing good at trying to get rid of the ones we're not using and still keep them in veg and healthy and happy. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Interesting.
yeah.
And there's ways to preserve that strain
Yep.
in a manner in which it stays
Tissue
suspended.
culture.
Did we talk about that last time? About
Yeah, we did.
putting it in something and keeping it like frozen
Han
in
Solo
time?
that bitch forever.
Yeah.
Forever. Crybo boy.
Yes.
Thing's done.
Forever?
Forever, ever.
Oh, shit. Damn. That's crazy.
I don't think I can ever get enough of Outkast. It's just ridiculous all the time.
And that's all. You just have to say forever, and then like
Yeah.
instantly, Andre.
People know.
Like, wink. Oh.
Ridiculous.
I just
So
like
is that
being
what you
so
would do,
fresh
like,
and
to like get rid of one but not get rid of it?
yeah, you could do that. You could archive it,
Yeah.
and keep it on tap.
It's like deleting it but not clearing out your fucking recycle bin.
Yes, buddy. But if you're a breeder, that's an integral thing, right? You have that in your archive, and you'd be like, huh, this too would be fucking awesome together. And
Pull it back out.
And even for us, like if we want to keep stuff, we don't want to get rid of it, but the work that goes into keeping those plants and healthy mothers and just constantly trimming all the time, it's like you
waste
just-
space
yeah,
too.
you're
You
already
know?
like, already I'm back. Well, if we got these greenhouses there, they can handle the space, right? They're just set up for mothers, right?
Right.
But still, it's kind of like it's a lot of work. You know what I mean, man? Like, okay, I got to replant this Max's pineapple now, and then I got to cut this other 10-foot mom down and get her out. It's like,
Dude, that Max pineapple is probably one of my favorite strains you guys grew.
that's-
That was a fucking good one. I know Chad had a cut in a garden, and I was watching it. I was like, holy shit. This thing's looking good, especially like week 8 and 9. I was like, whoa, that just transformed, dude.
Yeah.
But the high was legit stony high. Fucking
Yeah.
can't forget it. Yeah.
Very stony.
Well, this
Yeah,
shit
we
is
got that.
fucking
We
good.
got that cut from Max. He was our first Ahi Cup in Hawaii a long time ago.
Oh, no shit.
He won the highest THC.
Oh,
Had some
nice.
crazy large THC thing that
What is the genetics behind a Max's Pine? Do you know?
he didn't know. Nobody
Oh,
knew. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, especially
Okay.
not Max. That motherfucker, dude. Shit.
He didn't know.
No,
That's dope.
not even
dude.
gonna have a chance in hell you getting that pulled out.
No
No,
shit,
he was
huh?
just planting shit all the time. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah.
dude.
But we named it Max Pineapple because it's his. Yeah. It's definitely been through all kinds of crazy growing cycles.
It
Thick and
handles.
thin, fit, and like bad, and it's not really good. You know what I mean? And
Right.
But when it finally fills out, then you even realize what you've been missing. You're like, holy shit! I didn't know I could really do that. You know what
I
mean?
wish I would have trellised her a little bit earlier.
All right,
See you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
You texted me. We're
Drive
cool.
safe.
You.
But yeah, that one was like, I wish I would have trellised her because I was like, it wasn't really stacking the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And then, boom, she hit a point where she's just said,
Yeah.
wow. I was like, oh, fuck, I missed it.
Yeah.
And then when I trellised her, she was a bit too late, but she threw fucking down.
Yeah.
dude.
Crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know how you doing over there.
Solid like Muhammad, baby. Little stuffy, plenty smoke in here.
What's that?
Little stuffy, plenty smoke in here.
It is smoky.
I know.
That's how we roll
It's been
here.
smokier, though.
I don't know, dude.
I got smoky as soon as that cherry pie hit in, dude.
Yeah, man.
I've been seeing nothing but clouds since that motherfucker.
Is it cherry pie or was it apple?
Well, apple
cream
brother,
pie?
yeah.
And it was apple cake or some shit like
Apple
that.
cake. No, the first one was strawberry cream.
No, the first one was. Holy fuck! What was the first?
Harry, right? Harry.
Sour punch.
That's his.
Sour punch.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you
No.
go. Sour punch.
Sour pie.
No, it was
Sure.
a purple punch.
Purple.
So sour punch, and then it was the fucking apple
right
apple cake, apple
Apple
pie.
cream?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
And the last one was Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. That one I'll remember.
I do remember a really beautiful Obama Kush making it through our farm one time. It wasn't our flower, but it was probably some of the most remarkable flower that I think I've seen in a long time.
Nice.
Yeah, it was rock. It was just ridiculous. It reminded me of like an old Oregon kind of. We used to in Colorado every once in a while we get really good Oregon weed, and we call it the dimple bud. It was just this perfectly cured, pretty good sized nugget. But it kind of looked like it had craters in it. It was just so formed. And man, you could
Okay.
literally like roll a pinner of that, and you guys would like make like 8 people goofy.
No
it was
shit,
on.
huh?
Yeah, it was Oregon bud, dude. It was it was on
those
point,
days.
man.
Take it back to the old school.
I
was on
miss that
point.
tolerancy days where I'm like, fuck, dude, just give me a little pinner and we're good, bro.
You'd save it and it'll, for the tomorrow. And
You can
You
go
gotta
back to those days if you like.
Yeah, right. Just gotta stop smoking weed for a month. I don't think that's happening. Then you have
not
a fucking
even a couple days, right? 5 days.
yeah. That's what May said.
May
5
said?
days. You pull out a flat fucking half joint out of your back pocket.
5
Just
days.
like, fuck it.
Pushing your
I can
book.
still hit this.
Hit it in your CD case. Oh,
Yeah.
people
Our
even know what
pens.
CDs are? Oh, and the pen, yeah.
And the
I'm done with this thing, man.
Oh, shit. All right, well, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap it up, dude. Perfect
All right.
timing.
Tell everybody listening out there where they can find you guys on the internet.
No internet, just like Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, Care _Waialua. You can always DM me and say aloha, and we can give you everything and anything. It's all cool.
Nice.
Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on.
And
we
the
try
event-
to keep replying on some shit. We're not too busy, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Right on. And the event is July 7th.
July 9th.
9th.
Little gig again. Yeah.
This should be out before then.
Hopefully.
Right, guys? Yeah.
Yes,
we
it
can
will.
Do that. We can do that.
That look. He says yes, it will.
I can't see Mike, but anyway. Right on.
All
July 9th.
Shout out to our sponsors, Solidify, and what was the other one? Mike, can you fill us in?
Brutal Mars Art.
Brutal Mars
Brutal
Art.
Mars Art.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't remember that one. Sorry, forgive me. Won't ever happen again.
And Wahoo Garden Supply. Oh,
Yes.
Jinx.
Yeah. 94150 Leo Street, Waipahu, Hawaii, 96797. Come check me out. I'm there every Thursdays. Got a question? Be more than happy to answer. Thinking about doing a intro to growing class, just to get any people that are interested in just trying to grow a little bit of insight and some good foundation to just kind of, go get it.
There's a lot of people looking for that.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Is
When
that a
they
free
find out
class?
it's here, they'll come.
It won't be.
Won't be free? Well,
No.
are you going to... Can you say how much you're going to charge?
DM me. I don't want to
Okay,
solicit in that manner.
No, yeah.
But other than that,
For
we're
a
good,
donation.
Is there
man.
a solicitation about to go down?
Yeah, right. You can get me for 2 hours for $50.
Slide in that OnlyFans.
If you gotta ask, you can't
Yeah.
afford it.
If you got to ask, you can't afford it. All right.
It's that rate.
Yeah, right. Got that special rate, that
That special
1-800
rate.
number rate, man.
I'm like, where's he going? Is he setting me up? Because Kalei would set me up. I know he would.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram, Voices from the Planet, and Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. Voices from the Planet. All
Grow off, come get it.
right. Grow off.
Aloha.
Peace.
Aloha.